trying to play the long range poke, as well as the Florentino. Now, Florentino, I'm kind of like on the fence because we know it's going to be really strong, right? But the win rate hasn't exactly been the most impressive so far in KWC.
Yeah, I mean, people will go for Florentino all the time, like thinking that Florentino might be the hero to save, to rescue the rest of the team. But the thing is that the laning phase can be kind of decent. But the thing is that this hero needs time to scale up. But the way that how they pick this Florentino with this Jhin just show like pure mechanics and pure confidence on the top side of the map.
So this is looking more like an individual showcase, right?
Exactly.
And hopefully that comes in great synergy during the team fights. But here's one of the things they need to consider, right? A Jhin as well as a Florentino. How do you beat these people? Because if you're new, you're constantly losing to these heroes in rank. It's about the 2v1s, 3v1s. Just get more people, the numbers advantage, and you should be able to swing the fight in your favor.
So actually you mentioned about the importance about 2-2 or 3-3 battles, right? And speaking of that, actually just check KSG's composition. You can see like all of the members or all of those heroes that they selected has the survivability, right?
Yes.
The ultis, the flash, or like some tiny skills that they can use just trying to dodge Jhin's ulti or Florentino's chasing down. So that's the mechanics that we're talking about, and that's the mechanics we're looking forward to seeing in game 1.
Yeah, so game 1
गाइज अनफॉर्चुनेटली S8UL का KWC 2026 जर्नी यही खत्म हो गया है भाई लोग। ठीक है, आज जो मैच देख रहे हैं वो हम देख रहे हैं RNTX वर्सेस KSG। ठीक है, पहला मैच है, सब लोग बैठ जाओ, बढ़िया से एंजॉय करो गाइज। ठीक है, देखते हैं कैसे जाता है इनका मैच। भाई अगले इससे पहले जो मैच हुआ था इसका S8UL का, मेरे को उम्मीद थी यार जीतेगी S8UL, क्योंकि जिस तरह से वो खेल रहे थे यार लग रहा था कि हाँ शायद जीत सकती है। लास्ट टाइम में ऐसा हो गया ना भाई, क्या बोलूं। अभी देखते हैं ये जीत जाए यार। एक तो वो आया हमारे पास कम से कम इंडिया के पास। क्या नाम इसका, जिंगटांग बच, और भाई फंसा गया ये। पहला पॉइंट आता होगा इस KSG के खाते में। लेट्स गो। टीम RNTX को सपोर्ट करना है सब लोग, है ना, KSG को नहीं। ठीक है ना। तो ज्यादा तालियां नहीं बजानी अपने को। अच्छा कर रहा है यार। इंडियन टीम्स का ना मेरे को थोड़ा सा एक वो लग रहा है, ये लोग ना साथ में रह के थोड़ा मेरे को देख रहा है, इससे पहले भी जितने भी मैचेस देखे मैं अपना ओपिनियन बता रहा हूँ, ऐसा लग रहा है मेरे को कि ये लोग साथ में रह के नहीं खेलते ज्यादा, थोड़ा वो करके खेलते हैं। अभी मैप पे अगर ध्यान दो ना, इस तरह देखो अगर आप लोग, क्योंकि पूरी टीम एक जगह रहेगी, ये लोग थोड़ा अलग अलग मतलब वो कर रहे हैं। ये देखो अपना फार्मर वो कर रहा है, फार्म कर रहा है, हम बोलो जंगलिंग कर रहा है, सॉरी ये अपना इस साइड संभाल रहा है, ये बस एक बंदा फाइट ले रहा है। और यार ये वाला कैरेक्टर मैं भी यूज करता हूँ यार। लेट्स गो। अच्छा खासा डैमेज, यहाँ पे 3 बंदे भाई, 3v3 हो गया। लेट्स गो।
Assist going in for Ji-Hao as well as for Liu Lang as well. This is all gold advantage. At 2 minutes in the game, we're already 1,000 ahead for KSG.
That's a lot.
It really is a lot. And right now, this means the rotations will be a lot faster for the side of Crush Gaming as well. And this means at the 4-minute mark, you could expect that RNT might entirely just give up the attempt and try to look for something else across the map.
ये पकड़ा गया। ओ 1v1 है भाई, देखते हैं 1v1 गाइस। टर्न कर दिया, डैमेज क्यों नहीं दे रहा वो RNTX का। ओ ये गया भाई, गया ब्रो, गया।
Yeah, Crowley takes a fall here with the flash by Deadshot. He's gone as well, right? There's no way it's gonna happen. Ji-Hao gets that finishing blow. It's 3 kills and nothing on the side of KSG.
इन लोगों को टाइमिंग का थोड़ा इशू है, बट कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। इतने बड़े स्टेज में जाके इतना बड़ा समझ लो खेल रहे, वही बहुत बड़ी बात है।
It's pretty much like RNTX is trying to make a lot of things happen, right? They make a lot of things move in groups, but KSG, they just guard there, just wait for it, and just doing those pushbacks.
Yes, and the timing has been already super clean from KSG, right? So LFF actually giving vision to the side of KSG. It might not seem like much, but at this point, now they know what to do during their rotations. Crowley, he's going to try and set up something on the side.
The flash, the ulti are being broken, so KSG, they are on their way, getting down, try to rotate, and just force out the flash on the side of RNTX. So a lot of trades happening, and after that, it's up
Absolute cinema guys, हाँ बिल्कुल भाई।
1,000 gold lead. go lead right now.
And it will start to get more difficult, right? Because a flash at this stage means you don't have it for the 4-minute Tyrant fight. So, you know, any ideas of going for that Tyrant becomes more and more risky. And RNT, if they make the fatal mistake of losing not just the Tyrant, but giving more kills to KSG at the 4-minute mark, I think they might regret it.
So they're actually trying to pressure on at the bottom, trying to do something on Yu, but you can see like Yu is just being very patient. But at this place, you can see like the ulti broke out and Kenny just being killed instantly. That's gonna
इन लोगों का वो सही रहता है कॉन्सेप्ट भाई, जल्दी जल्दी पॉइंट इकट्ठा करो जितनी जल्दी हो सके। देखो कितनी जल्दी टायरेंट को मार दिया, सब लोग मिलके एक साथ खेल रहे हैं एकदम। टायरेंट मार रहे हैं, मिनियंस मार रहे हैं।
So at this point, KSG, look, I think this is a well worth effort. They're gonna put themselves right smack in the middle of the jungle on the bottom side. Put more pressure on Senpai as well as Crowley.
क्या ब्लॉक मारा भाई वहाँ पे, ऐसा वो करके भागा भाई डैश करके। 1v1 वापस से भाई, RNTX फंस गया भाई, ये फंस गया भाई, ये फंस गया ब्रो, फंस गया था भाई वो। भाई बहुत बुरा भाई, बहुत बुरा भाई। सेंपाई भाग जाओ भाई, तुम हील करो भाई, हील करो।
And this is what it means to play against a KPL team,
RNTX
right?
Dead Sword, RNTX Jig10, RNTX Candle, Senpai। और लास्ट वाले का नाम नहीं पड़ा भाई, लास्ट वाले का नाम क्या है? एक सेकंड में।
This means
Probably
they don't
nice
get to defend the Azure buff
लेकिन
goes to the side of KSG as well.
5 पॉइंट हो चुके गाइस, क्या कुछ करो यार, RNTX कुछ करो भाई, ऐसा नहीं करो यार, ऐसा दिल नहीं दुखा हमारा। हम सारे फैंस ऐसे देख
And it feels like there's no more space for RNTX to try anything, right?
Okay, इधर आ गए भाई, 3v3 इधर भी है, नहीं इधर 1v4 है भाई यहाँ पे।
Looking for a 3-man goal sharing effort, but at this point because you're so far behind, 4,000 goal behind, KSG might be looking for more.
ये तो वो है देवरा कैरेक्टर है ना, देवरा है वो।
Does get the Moonscape.
वो फंस गया, उसको मारो ना यार, क्या कर रहे हो?
Even with the leader stance, he's going to be
अरे
taken
उसको
out
मारा
by
क्यों लेकिन?
KSG.
अच्छा वो था साइड में
killing spree it is. I mean like 303 KDA, Lulan is having 100% killing participation.
Yeah, we need to take a look step by step, right? RNT, can they get
KSG
over to their side? Right now, they have nothing to offer against KSG. And KSG knows that they have this advantage. They will start approaching the Crimson camp again.
I feel like they are just being really
पकड़ लिया,
and you can see like RNTX, they are too busy to guard all those resources that they have.
Yeah, and it's very difficult because ideally you want to isolate singular members on the side of KSG, but nobody can hold a 1v1 with any member.
यहाँ से कमबैक हो जाएगा भाई, मजा आ जाएगा भाई।
So RNT,
यहाँ से कमबैक हो जाएगा भाई, मजा आ जाएगा भाई।
In the sense of a 4v1, 3v1 numbers advantage.
But to be honest, like with a 5,000 goal deficit, it can be really hard. The only thing that RNTX can do right now is just let Candy to guard all those waves and just try to clear the waves and buy more time for Channel and also the Jing.
Yes, and time is definitely not on their side because while Yu on this Alan is doing well for himself, the silent killer on the other side of KSG is silent. But when the Davara comes online, you have essentially 2 marksmen and damage dealers, and here we go. He's going to be caught in the middle of no man's land. 4 different members tries for the movements with his mirror image for the side of Liu Lang.
I mean, like, it's just being so devastating. They are trying to do this back push, let Jing Ken to have more go shell, but the thing is that KSG already read that, right? So
7 मिनट का टाइम निकल चुका है, ठीक है। पॉइंट्स देखा जाए तो पॉइंट्स में थोड़ी सी डिफरेंस है कि 1000 पॉइंट्स आ गए यहाँ पे, 1000 पॉइंट्स आ गए मतलब KSG, ठीक है। और भाई इस गेम में ना यही रूल है गाइस, जिसके भी पॉइंट ज्यादा होंगे भाई लोग, जिस भी टीम के पॉइंट ज्यादा होंगे उसका स्ट्राइक भी वैसा होगा, समझ रहे हो? उसके पावर देखो पकड़ा गया हेडशॉट पड़ा गया भाई।
But at the same time, we also have Crowley that
और यार पॉइंट्स कितनी तेजी से बढ़ा रहे हैं भाई वो लोग अपने यार, बेस तक पहुंच गए गाइस, देख रहे हो? पहला मैच 8 मिनट के अंदर खत्म हो जाएगा, क्या लगता है गाइस? 8-10 मिनट के अंदर जिस तरह से वो लोग रश कर रहे हैं ना KSG। लेकिन हमें देखो सपोर्ट RNTX को करना है मेरी जानवर, ठीक है? अच्छा खेल रही है गेम स्प्लिट के हिसाब से अगर देखा जाए तो अच्छा रही, इसलिए तारीफ कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं गाइस दिल से RNTX को, ठीक है?
Yeah, and if you take a look at the gold chart, Chu Hao on this Ying, close to 1,000 gold per minute at this point. 8.5 minutes is looking a little bit dire for the side of RNT. You're gonna have to make a last stand here. That T2 at the top is very important, but the biggest challenge is you have about 1.5 minutes left, more or less, at the 10-minute mark when the shadow variants of the objectives come out. How do you defend that?
I mean, like, to be honest, it seems to be impossible for RNT to contest with this dragon at the 10 minutes mark against KSG in this kind of case. The only thing, I mean, they can do is try to guide their high ground tower as long as possible.
Yeah, because it looks
almost base तक घुस गए एक गया
one more Moonscape Mirage.
इनका 1v1 हो गया इसका और इसका 1v1 हो रहा है अंदर
which means there is potentially no more tanks for the side of RNT once the damage is done. Will let him live. Giving the last of the silence as well. They will give it a try, but this is not looking good. The Radiance comes in with the Unbridled Outburst as
भाई नहीं
with an ace at this point. Just waiting for the minions to come in. A triple kill for silence. The T3 in the mid is the entry point, and KSG are looking so good.
They just aced RNT, and it hasn't been 10 minutes
yet. KSG
looking for the victory. Everything went so optimistic to them, and game 1 goes to KSG.
A very steady performance. This is what we expected. So what if there is jet lag? So what if there is 2 different patches? We have the upper hand.
भाई ये क्या देखा वो मैंने यार.
Not only the draft that we mentioned is very well rounded, but also the play that they did in game. I feel like it's just being flawless.
Yes, and it's quite difficult. But Isaac, what do you feel about that game number 1?
Where is the mash?
I believe that RNTX came in with a clear idea of what they wanted to do. They wanted just to start the first 1 minute just making a statement, right? Like just showing that they were not gonna just stand there and just protect their base. They wanted to go and get something. The Jin comes in, tries to invade onto the red buff.
एक राउंड और बाकी है, ठीक है?
And then everything just fell apart.
एक राउंड और बाकी है.
40 seconds of the game.
Yes. Actually, I do like the design that they did in the early game where I tried to steal away the red buff. Because if you want to compete KSG, you can't just go for those operations. It's impossible, right? So you need to make something like out of your expectation, and that's something they're trying to do.
It's a very big gamble, right? It's like you are actually you're gonna win big, or it's gonna end up just exploding in your face, and for them just ended up just exploding in their face.
Yes, it is like you said, 40 seconds, right? That's a not a lot of time, and you are forced to play this way because Quite Show Gaming, like you said before, Nora, they are a very aggressive team.
Very
young
aggressive.
and up-and-coming talents as well. Ji Hao down here, 306 with 9,000 gold in his pocket. He was far ahead on anyone else on the side of Revenant X Spark. And this is one of the cleanest gold graphs you will ever see. At the point of the 9-minute mark, they were up by 12,000. This is more than 1,000 GP.
काफी unfair match था भाई.
It's pretty just go in kind of like a one-way game because
KSG
like 14 against 0
खतरनाक
and
खेल
also
रही है, खतरनाक मतलब यार.
Accelerating
Next
their
level,
pace.
bro.
They're already being, I guess, like 2,000 goal lead being built, right? And that was 6 minutes, around 6 minutes.
And this is where it gets even more terrifying, right? Because if you take a look at what the sequence of the draft is from the side of KSG, this is
team fight rate 0%, 0%, 0%, 0%. हे भगवान, ये क्या देख लिया भाई मैंने?
6 slotted Liu Lang, 6 slotted Silence, 6 slotted Yu as well, and they were already struggling to keep up.
यार इनको टीम पे काम करनी चाहिए guys शायद.
If you're on the side of RNTX is now we tried the assassin jungle, we tried the aggressive.
ये कौन है भाई? KSG Silence भाई खेला भी है भाई वो. नहीं सबसे बढ़िया खेला ये, रुक जाओ. 86% उसका टीम फाइट में वो है. टीम फाइट रेट है, देख रहे हो? टोटल गोल्ड भी 21% है भाई. ऐसा नहीं है भाई, हर चीज में बंदा टॉप नॉच परफॉर्म किया भाई. डैमेज में देखो, डैमेज में कितना है. डैमेज टेकन, डैमेज इतना कम लिया है, देख रहे हो? डैमेज कम लेके डैमेज ज्यादा देके टोटल गोल्ड 21% वो किया है. और हमारे इंडिया में चलो ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. एक पे दूसरा राउंड भी है अभी. भाई लेकिन कुछ भी बोलो, कोऑर्डिनेशन है गाइस इनकी टीम के बीच, मतलब दे आर रियली गुड. अच्छे प्लेयर्स है भाई. भाई इस वाले प्लेयर को इतना इजीली मारा आप लोग देखोगे अगर, तो मैं दिखाता हूँ.
is doing the invasion.
हाँ भाग गया। ये डेड शॉट जो अभी जा रहा है ना भाई, ये प्लेयर लेके मैं भी खेलता हूँ भाई। ये प्लेयर इतना पावरफुल है, अगर सही से यूज करो। एक 1v1 में तो वो फाड़ देता है भाई, लेकिन यहाँ पे 2 बंदे थे इसलिए पकड़ा गया, हमारे पकड़े गए इसलिए डेड शॉट भाई हमारे। यार कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
Now RNT, they're gonna pick up the Dharma along the Princess Frost. So maybe, you know what, they could even play the Liang as a roam and go for the traditional Frost Liang. Do you like that combo?
Well, I mean, I do like the combo, especially I'm looking forward to seeing KSG or AG.AL to play that combo. But as for RNTX, I feel like they might be better to go for a composition with more tolerance, because Zhang and Liang, you really need to use your ulti precisely, and it is very hard to execute it in game.
Yes, high risk, high reward, and this risk is even higher now because
हाँ वो RNTX ने अपना बेस्ट तो दिया यार, ये नहीं बोल सकते गाइस हम यार, ये चीज नहीं कह सकते गाइस, कोई भी फैन ये चीज नहीं बोल सकता। RNTX ने ट्राई किया, इतने बड़े स्टेज में जाके परफॉर्म करना, यही बहुत बड़ी बात हो जाती है गाइस, बहुत बड़ी बात हो जाती है भाई, बहुत बड़ी। सोच रहे हो कहाँ पे है RNTX आज? बीजे में नहीं खेल रहे हो डॉक्टर सुबह? नहीं बेटी, बीजे में तो अभी नहीं खेल रहा हूँ यार, मैं अभी इसकी एचओ की लाइव करूंगा गाइस, ठीक है? कल से या परसों से गाइस देखते हैं अपन। मैं तो सोच रहा हूँ कुछ अलग चीज करने का, ठीक है? आप लोग को बहुत जल्द पता लगेगा। शॉर्ट्स तो मैं कंटिन्यूसली डाल ही रहा हूँ, ठीक है? शॉर्ट्स के अलावा मैं कुछ शॉर्ट्स में अनाउंस करूँगा कुछ, आप लोग देखना जरूर।
Yes, and also tankiness, right? I mean, yes, they have quite a bit of lifesteal when the side of you as well as the side of silence. Once they get their equipment up, they do have quite a bit of lifesteal available when they land the auto attacks. Yeah. But right now, they just need a shield in front, someone who's able to soak in all the damage, or maybe even eat all of the CC coming in from the side of RNT.
Lapu it is, and maybe like Yang Jian for Zhuhao this time, I guess. And also for RNTX, because of the Dharma pick and also the Princess Frost, the control is definitely there. The CC is completed, so they might need some hero to do the split push in the middle game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Split push, actually in this case, on the side of RNT, wave clear isn't their biggest strength, right? And we will go for the traditional pairing here. So the couple that is in play.
कोच भी है भाई इनके सारे के, देख रहे हो गाइस? ये बात बोली भी थी मैंने इससे पहले आप लोगों को, इससे पहले वाले स्ट्रीम में जब सोल की स्ट्रीम हो रही थी, कोच इनके अलग लग रहे थे भाई, कोच के भी अलग। समझ रहे हो? सबने हीरोज अपने सिलेक्ट कर लिए, लेट्स गो। देखते हैं इस बार है ना गाइस क्या होता है। एक मैच निकाल लेना RNTX, मजा आ जाएगा भाई, कसम से मजा आ जाएगा ब्रो, एकदम खुश हो जाएंगे भाई। भले उसके बाद हार जाए चलेगा, बट एक मैच इनको ऐसा मारे ना भाई, ऐसा धो देना भाई, एकदम नाम कर ले भाई इंडिया का, कसम से बता रहा हूँ। ऐसा होना चाहिए नहीं, इंडियन टीम डोमिनेटिंग टीम है भाई, एकदम पेलती है भाई, ऐसा हो जाए, ऐसा एक मैच निकल जाना गाइस, बड़ा मजा आ जाएगा, कसम से बता रहा हूँ। एक मैच यार,
and they were playing extremely fast.
And show me his hand means like fast-handed.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think
हाँ डिफरेंस वही बात है ना गाइस, थोड़ा डिफरेंस है ना बहुत। ये लोग बहुत सालों से ग्राइंड कर रहे हैं गाइस, इनके वहाँ पे गेम, ये गेम चल रहा होगा शायद 10-15 साल से या 10 साल से चल ही रहा होगा, और हमारे यहाँ पे भी हाल फिलहाल में आया है HOK। तो सोच रहे हो कितना बड़ा डिफरेंस है। सही है वो, अभी एसी सही है, एसी चलने दे भाई, पूरा पसीना पसीना हो गए थे यार।
If you want to do some invasion,
थोड़ा देर चलेंगे ना, बंद कर देंगे उसको।
from this mark, I mean like around level 1, the only thing that Ogren can do is steal away the small monster, the piggies, around the camp on the side of KSG. That's the only thing that you need to do, or you can do. But after that, the mid lane clarity might be the main focus in game 2, because not only Ogren but also this Agudo can be a great help to their mid lanes in this clarity.
Yes, they can actually hit multiple targets and also very fast wave clear from the side of Jihao on the Agudo, right?
That's true.
For Jingtian on the second skill, the Death's Precipice, the one where he does a swipe, the targets that are hit by that will be available for him to get multi-hits. And Jingtian...
Let's go, match start ho gaya.
Tries again, oh no! Okay, we'll see how this works out, right?
Just take it personal, like...
Yeah, like, okay,
game
you know
1
what?
invasion, game 2 invasion. I like it actually.
I like this.
Nice. पहले अरे फाइट नहीं।
and Liu Lang gets the first blood. Yes, it is on to Crowley, but here we go.
यार इतना start
the jungler, the core. He is down right from the get-go, right before the 60-second mark.
I mean, like, same strategy, same tactics that RNTX trying to make, but the story just be remade again on the side of KSG. Like, it's like the deja vu of game one.
Almost. So, I mean, they did send Senpai down to mid lane, try to get that mid first wave and rotate to the top or the bottom to get more EXP, but it's not working now because they have to waste time clearing that first initial wave. And this is all of the timers on the side of RNT put and push back.
Just watch the replay. Actually, they did quite nice at first hand, but as you can see, Ollie just hold back. So the rest of the team member is not.
TAG कहाँ है डॉक्टर? TAG नहीं खेल रही guys. TAG
on the side of KSG, so that's a problem. If you want to take one execution, you need to make sure that.
RNTX खेल रही, देखो RNTX का मैच चल रहा है गाइस, है ना? KSG वर्सेस RNTX, पहला मैच RNTX हार चुकी है. अभी ये वाला मैच अगर निकालती है भाई तो एक और चांस मिल सकता है इनको, ठीक है? लेकिन यहाँ पे अगर ये लोग ज्यादा वो ना करके थोड़ा पॉइंट्स इकट्ठा करने पे ध्यान देना, कि पॉइंट्स अगर ज्यादा रहेगा ना गाइस तो हो जाएगा, गेम निकाल लेंगे ये लोग. लेकिन वही बात है ना, KSG बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस टीम है गाइस, वो जल्दी जल्दी पॉइंट लेने भी तो नहीं दे रही है. अरे फंस गए. नाइस. ये लोग 3v2 है. ओ 3v3 हो गया. पीछे आ जाओ गाइस, पीछे आ जाओ. अरे पीछे चला गया एक बंदा, तुम भी पीछे आ जाओ.
Members on the side of KSG have answered the call of Ji-Hao in the jungle.
Nice, ये लोग 3 जन हो गए इधर.
Exactly the point, because when you're trying to do the invasion but you didn't take any.
इनको किसी एक को पकड़ना चाहिए गाइस.
That will just lower your own farming pace against your opponents. Just check the gold difference, right? 2000 gold already in favor of KSG, and that's the thing.
भाई साइड से 3 जन आ रहे हैं ब्रो, 3 साइड से आ रहे हैं भाई.
You also got a solo 1v1 kill against Candy. Now, Candy losing to the side of you, I think that's to be expected. But the problem here is you're giving farm to the channel, which is not supposed to happen. He is going to be so big at the 4-minute mark, probably even at the 10-minute enhanced variants.
The thing is, KSG is trying to highlight the top side of the map. They are just letting you to have his own good time.
अरे नहीं. बच गया भाई, बच गया. ये लोग देखो चारों साथ में घुस रही है, तीनों तो साथ में रह रहे हैं एकदम.
Just went so optimistic to KSG in this game.
Yeah, and pre 4 minutes, yes, you do have a little bit of a backdoor defense, the yellow bar on the towers. That's the extra help of recovery. But once it hits 4 minutes, that is going to be gone. So right off the bat, even before we touch the Tyrant, KSG has an advantage in damage on turrets already.
And speak of the gold difference, speak of the gold lead, just check silence. This man's just keeps silence, but with 600 gold lead.
Yes, that's quite a lot, which means he probably will get a big advantage coming in. But here we go, the launch coming in.
अरे नहीं.
The jungle is gone. Jingtian today.
भाई वो कितनी तेज भागा यार.
And KSG right at the 4-minute mark.
वो पॉइंट्स कितने जल्दी इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं भाई ये लोग, मानना पड़ेगा ये बात तो यार. एक्सपीरियंस देखो गाइस.
Not gonna happen as well. And as we already said, T1 at the bottom, looking so shaky.
Just secure the Tyrant at the bottom. You know, like one thing that I do want to highlight is that Lorian is quite like a new hero to Liu Lang, but just check like how smooth he is using all those combos. It's like a pure mechanics, but like
भाई पॉइंट देखो, उनके पॉइंट देखो बस. पॉइंट्स KSG पॉइंट्स कैसे बढ़ा रही वो देखो बस.
Champions, right? They learn so fast. Even if it's a hero that's new to them, the mechanics are already.
एक मैच यार गाइस, एक मैच अगर RNTX निकाल लेगी ना भाई मजा आ जाएगा भाई, कसम से यार खुश हो जाऊंगा भाई दिल से. बढ़िया रात को नींद आएगी भाई मेरे को, कसम से बता रहा हूँ. एक मैच सिर्फ निकाल ले, भले उसके बाद हार जाए चलेगा मेरे को, बट एक मैच निकाल लेना यार. इस यही मैच में दे दे बढ़िया से इनको. हाँ दे इसको, दे इधर छुपा कैसा है भाई, देख रहे छुपा कैसे जंगल के अंदर. ये तोड़ रहे यार, ये तोड़ रहे टावर, तोड़ रहे गाइस, क्या कर रहे हो, बहुत आगे आ गए यार. नहीं यार, नहीं यार.
well. KSG are looking so strong. They're too far ahead. Crowley falls solo. It just took 3 hits from the side of KSG to get it down. All the T1s are gone. T2s are next on the menu. They still have a minion wave in the middle lane. This means Chi-Hao can go to work, and then Agudo takes and eats towers for breakfast.
यार तोड़ रहे हैं टावर.
Just snowballing the game, and look at the pushing efficiency.
थोड़ा सा.
Actually, this composition allowing them even close at the game before 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think we'll even hit the 10 minutes if this situation continues on. And you know for a fact, KSG, they know what an advantage is like, and they know how far to push it as well.
भाई शायद वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बना दिया क्या इन्होंने 6 मिनट के अंदर अंदर ऐसा इतना ज्यादा इतने सारे टावर तोड़ दिए भाई. और नहीं यार पकड़ा गया वो बीच में पकड़ा गया भाई. चैंपियन पकड़ा गया था गाइस. ये भी गया. जिंगतांग भी गया. और एक बंदा बचा हुआ है. एक बंदा बचा हुआ है. पकड़ लेंगे इसको भी. ले पकड़ लिया भाई उसको भी. घर पे घुस गए थे भाई. ये भी टावर तोड़ दिया. ले सारे टावर तोड़ दिए ऑलमोस्ट. ये देखो आने नहीं दे रहा. ब्लॉक कैसे कर रहा है वो देखो भाई. आने नहीं दे रहा. पावर का वो इतना लगा लिया भाई. एस हो गया. सबको मार दिया यार. भाई यार यार क्या बोलूं मैं भाई. क्या बोलूं आखिर क्या बोलूं भाई. मैं बुरा लग रहा है भाई कसम से.
This is like the legends, right? You hear stories, okay, this team's really, really strong, but now you actually get to see it. This is what you need to do. When you have an advantage, you need to find the different angles of where to put pressure and put pain on your opponents. Now, for RNTX, I don't think they should be too discouraged. This is their first international against a KPL.
बिल्कुल भाई. लेकिन भाई जैसा भी खेली भाई इतने बड़े लेवल पे स्टेज पे जाके परफॉर्म करना ये बहुत बड़ी बात हो जाती है गाइस. ठीक है कोई बात नहीं गाइस. डब्ल्यू लिख देना फिर भी चैट में RNTX के लिए.
When they are playing against KSG, right? Because KSG actually they're pulling all their efforts in. They're not saving anything. Just whatever they can play well with, the cards they're just taking it out, and also check out the pace. They're pulling all the things that they have to their opponents, showing their respect.
That is very commendable, right? Because for
बहुत जल्दी लेकिन मैच खत्म हो गया बे.
take this with a little bit of like more calm, right? But just out of respect to your opponents, you come in with 100%. And for RNTX, I'm telling you, I do believe that they're going to go home actually feeling like they learned something. It's not every
बिल्कुल बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला होगा गाइस उनको इससे यार.
champions. So they're actually very lucky that they had this opportunity. They need to go back, look at the video, and then understand exactly what they can do in order to improve.
Well, I feel like they can just continuing being aggressive in the early game, but maybe we'll polish it a little bit more. For example, if you want to steal with a wrap up, you need to make sure that everyone's there for you, coming up with all those damage you got.
बिल्कुल हाँ भाई. अगर वो तुम्हें पहले पॉइंट्स अगर इकट्ठा करने पे रहते ना ये लोग अगर स्टार्टिंग से फाइट पे जा रहे थे फाइट पे नहीं जाके अगर पॉइंट्स इकट्ठा करने पे रहते ना फिर ये बाद में जाके अपनी पावर्स का यूज करके मारते तो ज्यादा डैमेज पड़ता उनको. यार ये गलत कर दिया यार इन लोगों ने यार. खैर कोई बात नहीं गाइस. बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा अपने RNTX और S8UL दोनों को ही है ना. अगली बार भाई कम बैक करेंगे बिल्कुल. कादिर भाई वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम. क्या हाल चाल है. वेलकम. कादिर भाई कितने ज्वेल्स है आपके पास. सारे भेजो. सारे ज्वेल्स भेज दो. इतने दिन से मेरे को नोटिफिकेशन ही नहीं आ रहा था भैया. मैं लाइव ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ. कहाँ से जाएगा नोटिफिकेशन. नहीं कर रहा हूँ भैया. अभी बीच में लाइव किया था 2-4 दिन फिर बंद कर दिया. मेरा आईपैड भैया खराब हो गया. मेरे साथ ऐसी चीजें हो रही ना भैया क्या बताऊँ मैं आपको. कादिर भैया अपनी इंडिया के दो बड़ी टीम दो बड़ी और जैसे कि RNTX और S8UL दोनों KWC एट EWC 2026 में क्वालिफाई करके गई. मतलब फाइट करने गई है. समझ लो. समझ रहे हो. और मतलब ठीक खेला यार उन्होंने. अच्छा ट्राई करा. बहुत बढ़िया ट्राई करा गए. अच्छा खेला भाई. इतने बड़े स्टेज में जाके खेलना बहुत बड़ी बात हो जाती है कादिर भाई है कि नहीं. 2 मैच हार गई अलग बात है. दोनों टीम हार गई बट इतने बड़े स्टेज में जाके परफॉर्म करना ये बहुत बड़ी बात हो जाती है नहीं. हाँ और बाकी भी गेम्स है जिसमें अच्छा कर रही है वैसे तो। S8UL तो भाई फाड़ रही है।
So every single person that comes in all the way here to Paris, France, as long as you are willing to take in information and
वही मैं सोच रहा हूँ कहाँ गया टॉक्सिक। वही तो। कैसे हो आप, कैसे हो, सब बढ़िया? बहुत दिनों से बात नहीं हुई आपसे। हाँ अरे भैया मैं परेशान हूँ यार, घर में थोड़ा सीन चल रहा है, पापा का तबीयत खराब है और मैं कुछ चीजें कर रहा हूँ कुछ अलग। मेरा आईपैड भी खराब हो गया, मेन दिक्कत ये हो गया भैया, समझ रहे हो, मैं स्ट्रीम ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, आईपैड ही खराब हो गया मेरा। मैं पीसी है मेरे, पीसी से ही स्ट्रीम करना पड़ेगा। अब देखता हूँ जुगाड़ लगाता हूँ यार, क्या ही करूँ। काम तो करना पड़ेगा लेकिन। ये चाइना में हो रहा है क्या? चाइना में नहीं, ये पेरिस में हो रहा है शायद। बहुत घंटा लेकिन आज खुशी की बात है। खुशी की बात मतलब अच्छा मैं लाइव आया हूँ, ये क्या है ऐसा? आज सूरज किधर से उगा है? ये देख रहे थे क्या सुबह उठ के? कि टॉक्सिक लाइव है भाई, आज क्या सीन है? किधर से उगा है सूरज?
As long as we can perform at this level, I think there's no issues with crushing everyone 2-0 just like this.
What you showed today would definitely scare everybody in your group. Now, the meta in the global is different from KPL, especially with the new AOV heroes. Earlier, we saw your team use the Lorian. What was the preparation like, especially because you're in the middle of your summer season right now in KPL? Was it a bit challenging for you?
在国际舞台上面，他们的主流打法可能跟国内的 KPL 也都非常的不一样啊，因为这里也有那些像什么LV 的英雄，比方说你们刚才拿出那首那个 Lorian， 那你们从 KPL 的夏季赛来到这个国际舞台上面，做出了哪些方面的调整呢？
可能大家都是职业选手吧，都多花点时间练一下这边的英雄吧。可能国内的没有，就大家多花点时间练习一下。
Well, we are professional players after all, so it came down to just practice. Like when there's a new hero, we gotta practice it. We gotta devote time learning the ins and outs of the hero and be able to deliver a performance with it at the highest level on the stage.
And we're really excited to see what else you have to show. What about a message to the world, everyone that's watching right now?
那有没有什么话想跟现在所有在看的观众和粉丝呢？
希望大家都能看得精彩吧，啊，看得尽兴。
I hope everyone can enjoy the show and watch us win.
Once again, congratulations. We're gonna break that down a little bit more and head back to the casters. Lead the gorge.
Thank you very much, Leolang, for coming in here, spreading the good word of top-level honor of kings. I love that he came here. He has the confidence that they're gonna make it all the way through as long as they perform as they should. Match 1 is done. Match 2 is waiting for.
हाँ वही तो है, लेकिन पर्सनल रीजन भी है मेरा। ओके आप मेरे को कॉल करना। आज बहुत खुशी की बात है टॉक्सिक, क्या बात है भैया बताइए, शेयर कीजिए आपकी खुशी। अभी किसका मैच है? रुक जाओ एक बार चेक करने दो मेरे को। अभी मैच है मेरे को। ओके विट्रेस प्रो वर्सेस वो है भाई, वो वाली टीम है भाई जो सोल को हराई थी, ये वाली टीम। तो मजा आ रहा है ये भी देखने में यार, मजा आने वाला है गाइस। थैंक यू फॉर द 10 ज्वेल्स भैया, थैंक यू। क्या बात है कादिर भैया, बताया नहीं? हाँ वो तो है लेकिन पर्सनल रीजन है मेरा। अच्छा इसीलिए खुश हो गया? ओके फिर आप कॉल पे बताना मेरे को, ठीक है?
that both teams share, which is their playstyle, is very aggressive. So I'm looking for a very aggressive. So
वापस देखूंगा भाई क्या गलती करी भाई इन्होंने.
It's so yeah. I mean people.
Oh no.
So it's gonna be a 1-1.
ये बहुत आगे चला गया ये प्लेयर. जंगली करते करते यहाँ पे रहना था इनको. इतने आगे जाने की जरूरत थी नहीं यहाँ पे. ठीक है. गलत 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 भाई. नहीं देख पाऊंगा भाई मैं अब. ऐड दिखा रहा है भाई. ऐड देख लेते भाई थोड़ा सा. कुछ नया हीरो उन्होंने वो किया है.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
With robbery within
just explode.
Play that.
Here, it's 4 different members on the side of KSG, all across on the other side of the map.
It hasn't been 9 minutes, but already 9 kills in favor of KSG, and you can see like they can go whatever they want.
हॉस्पिटल जा रही है. ओके.
This game is already.
क्या कुछ खुशखबरी है भैया?
And if you take a look at the goal chart, Hao on this Ying, close to 1,000 gold per minute.
Nice भैया, congratulations.
Minutes, it's looking a little bit dire for the side of RNT. They're gonna have to make a last stand here. That T2 at the top is very important, but the biggest challenge is you have about 1.5 minutes left, more or less, at the 10-minute mark when the shadow variants of the objectives come out. How do you defend that?
I mean, like, to be honest, it seems to.
Red Force got up against KML's champion now, Virtus Pro. Obviously, it was a bit of a tight series.
Yeah.
Obviously, after the reform of Nongshim Red Force, they still wasn't enough to take down this VP. This new kind of like all-star roster within Europe.
It went all the way until 4-3 in that grand final of the KML 2026, man. So we can see a lot of the people that you can see on the screens. These are not new faces for anyone. These are players that have been with us through these years. They have been carrying the flag of different teams. They are experienced. Lam, what are the best moments that you remember from Highland, from 90, from Clue in the road to KWC 2026?
I mean, for KWC 2026, obviously we saw that Highland has kind of been shifting since 2024's EWC, right? Obviously, this is a guy that kind of left the composition very early, very emotional, but now, last year, he got top 4, and that's what they're going to be going towards now.
Top 4 is always in the past because we know that they did really well in the past, but what they have today is going to be a completely new challenge. Buriram United Esports, since play-ins in day 1 up until right now, they have been doing really well. We've already had a lot of performances by them. We already know exactly what they can bring to the table, as we're always saying. Is that going to work in their favor because they already know the stage? Or that's going to be a disadvantage since for Virtus Pro, they already know what they can do?
It's going to work in my favor because I love this mid lane matchup. I like that you highlight the Hailang from the side of Virtus Pro, right? Because coming in, we get to see this comparison between him and Nunu. Nunu is this all-star player coming in from the side of Buriram United Esports, and Hailang is also a decorated player from the side of HOK.
I think that that's gonna be one of the best matchups in this game, right? Like just the mid lane fight. Nunu, we've been talking about Nunu so much in these days, just because he has been setting the real standard for DeLorean, right?
He is the gold star, right? If you think of Lorion, you think of Nunu right at this stage of KWC. And this is going to be a very interesting matchup because the wave clear ability from both sides is equivalent at this point before we start the performance, right? Hailang is also known as one of those very flashy mid lane players. We might see, I mean, we probably wouldn't see it today, but Shangguan and Mai, these are two of his favorite heroes in the mid lane as well. We haven't seen Nunu move away from too much from the Lorion pick because he has found so much success that, to be honest, I don't think Buriram United has been tested yet.
But well, if he's already been given this option so many times and we already know that this is going to be one of his main picks, Lam, would you use one of the bans just to say like, okay, we're not allowing Nunu for that Lorian pick?
No, you know what? If I'm Virtus Pro, I'm going to be like, you know what? I want to take that challenge in game number 1 because it's something you don't allow in maybe like game 2 or game 3, right? Because that could be the potential turnaround and loss of the series for VP. So for me, I feel like you test it in game number 1. If you beat it, that's even better for Virtus Pro.
I like the idea of that, right? Because this is something that you can expect. This is something we have seen before, and this is something you might have done homework before, right? So if you are able to use that information to your advantage, get the win, right now that will kind of shake the confidence of Buriram United Esports. At the same time, it also opens up the questions, what more do you have?
Exactly, I think that's the obviously question we're going to be seeing here as well, right? But I mean, I want to go and hark back onto that Lorian point as well. Like,
Let's go.
With a team like Virtus Pro going up against Buriram United,
खुशखबरी है इसलिए तो बताया. अरे congratulations भैया, congratulations. हाँ, बिरयानी पार्टी हो सकती है शायद. हाँ, बिरयानी पार्टी कर सकता हूँ मैं. अरे यार नहीं यार, नवरात्रा चल रहा है. नवरात्रा बोल रहा हूँ, वो चल रहा है अभी. वो चल रहा है भैया हम लोगों का.
Are the roamers. Tao's going up against Clue. Clue is one of my favorite players.
I mean,
he is a lot of fun, and he is one of the most consistent players throughout the history of HOK. But going up against Tao's has been really consistent so far.
Very consistent, but I mean, Clue has home ground buff.
Okay, true.
You know,
चल रहा है अभी, चल रहा है खाना ना खा के.
Francie is here to be like, you know, I can't lose at home. Like any team that loses at home, it's even a sorer loss here. So I feel like for Clue, he has something not only to prove to obviously his teammates with 90 in Highland that got to top 4, but he also needs to prove it at home that he is the top dog in that roam.
No, I like this struggle because both roamers, they play really well in the setup roam, right? The Changpeis, the Lapu Lapus, even the Lianpos. These are the heroes that we're very well versed with. On the other hand, if we are talking about the utility roams where the Diadias, the Sakias coming in, it might be a slightly different story because we have not explored that concept with either of these teams right yet.
Correct.
And then, you know, that growth will then go into the goal lane. For you, T-Gold, for me, Licky, what do you think?
I mean, T-Gold, I feel like he's still one of like the newer players onto the Gorge here for the side of Virtus Pro, right? Obviously, it's somebody that was a little bit newer to the roster. Had a bit of a promising start, promising performance within KML. I feel like maybe from KML, because we haven't seen them play since then, there's got to be a clear shift in how his performance is now.
All right, I'm going to be putting quite a bit of scrutiny here. I feel T-Gold has not hit his peak performance yet.
Okay.
Right? But I feel like Licky is already in the groove of things. So to me, in that farm lane matchup, besides the BP, it's also about how confident you are. Are you really smooth with your movements? Because based on what I've seen of Licky's performance so far in KWC, I think he has just one step ahead of T-Gold.
Yeah, but you got to look at the performance of Virtus Pro, right? Like, you know Hailang doesn't have to rotate top side of the map. He's got 90 locking down that clash lane as usual. Hailang is going to be going down, helping T-Gold into the farm lane, putting a little bit of a stunt of growth on Licky here. So I am not worried about my boys on Virtus Pro.
Okay, I like the confidence, and I hold the same confidence for the side of Buriram United Esports as well. I'm curious to see how this first exchange is going to be like, because normally in a best of 3, the first game sets the tone, right?
Yes.
If you get a win, there's a lot less pressure coming into the second game of the series. You could just potentially go for the killing blow there.
Yeah, I mean, you always obviously want to, right? Obviously, game 1, what we saw yesterday, obviously, Chuck BR be able to get a victory from the MKL team, right? That shows that game 1 is a big motivator in that series. So if that is the case, it's brilliant. But you can't underestimate your opponent like the Chuck BR team did yesterday in Influence Rage.
Okay, so we covered quite a few members on the side of both teams. Let's talk a little bit about the junglers, because that's another matchup that's going to be very important. Right? In the previous series we were watching, we saw that a good jungler really defines a game, right? And the mistakes of a jungler could also define how the rest of the game goes from the get-go. But before we jump into that, I mean, we'll take a look at the BP. Jiabao is new. He is on your side, but it's pro. He's taking over Rock.
Yes.
And I don't know how I feel about it, because this guy, he is also decorated. This guy started from what do we call it?
Started from the bottom.
Started from the bottom. Yeah, this guy started from the bottom, right?
He's went the Drake, you know?
Yeah, national championships, KGL, went to KPL. He's on loan from TTG.
Exactly, yeah. So he has the accolades, but the thing is, you have like the clear accomplishments. But the problem is, does he have that bond? Because obviously we used to see from like Rock and Clue, they were very sort of like solid as a unit anyway. So it's going to be seen if that identity has been formed here for Virtus Pro. Because I think for me, if I was kind of like on the opposite side of this argument, it'd be like, what is the identity for Virtus Pro? Because it's not going to be the same as the one from KML.
For sure. The synergy is definitely something that we need to talk about for both of these teams. And you know what? I was so surprised at the Buriram interview the other day, because they said they formed this team in, what, 5 days? They have like 5 days of experience together, but it doesn't feel like they're playing as though they've practiced for 5 days only. This guy seems pretty in sync with each other. So I'm curious to see if VP has this same formula in their bag.
And as well, like obviously back to that interview point that he was making when there was on about obviously Yusung being put into the clash lane as well. It's just like, oh, if he wants to play, he wants to play. But they can't have that mistake. They can't underestimate 90 in the clash lane, right? That's where I feel like if Burim United kind of go for that blasé kind of attitude, it could mean the downfall of this series for them, right?
I mean, if you're new to VP, you're new to 90, he puts you to sleep, and not in the way that you would like. If you're on if you're on the opponent's side, on the side of Buriram here, if 90 gets his way, you're not gonna have a fun time in the 1v1 in the clash lane. And he is famous in the KML for those massive flanks that have net Virtus Pro a number of big wins as well.
Yeah, massive flanks, 1v1s. I mean, we go back to when obviously they were a part of Twisted Minds, right? Obviously, when we saw that massive Byron outplay from this guy, it was just like, he is him with the capital H. So once again, I feel like Burim United, that kind of clash lane matchup, they have to done some serious homework against 90 to try and kind of like dismantle this player.
I mean, that's one, right? The second one I think that's really curious is, how many of the AOV heroes do we get? Do we get the Florentino again? And curious point, I think yes, Lorian is a great pick. Nuno is definitely very well versed with that hero as well. But I'm thinking that Virtus Pro might not take the risk and actually ban out the Lorian.
They might do. They might do. I mean, we'll have to see what obviously goes on in game 1. I feel like if they don't ban it in game 1 and allow it to come through, I feel like that is going to be kind of what they need to do. Obviously, it's global ban pick, right? Those at home, if they pick this hero once, if you're new to the stream, they cannot pick it again. So it's not like Burim United can just go 3 series with this Lorian. They have to choose which game is going to be the key moment, or which draft against Virtus Pro is going to be the key moment that they lock in the Lorian pick. Because if they do the wrong one, that's one of Nunu's trump cards gone. But it's not to say that he doesn't have other great picks. We saw great performance on the Xiao Xiao as well.
Yes, and so, you know, the first few bans will define the kind of the direction we're going in. So far, the stock standard bans, we have seen the Haya ban, we've seen the Pei ban, we've seen the Mai ban, maybe even the Guan Yu at some times.
True.
So right now, the consideration is some of the teams, they actually prior their jungler first. The rest of the usual ones, they take up the farm lane first. So Alwyn has been one of the prior picks for a lot of the teams coming in.
I mean, he's not even having the recent changes that's happened, obviously, in game recently as well, right? Like, but I feel like that's the good thing about, obviously, Alwyn. He's able to just be an independent farm lane, right? He has infinite vastness. It means he's able to just kind of like, okay, if they do die for me, it's not the end of the world. But some of these teams know how to play against that hero in when they can exhaust that ultimate at the right time, right? Like if they're able to pop that off before the 4-minute mark, it makes kind of any kind of neutral objective team fight harder for you.
I love that you said that, right? Because for the Alien, it really comes down to the 4th minute. And more or less, level 4 too. If you don't have the infinite fastness, that is the best time to catch you, and that will definitely put you in advantage, not just in lane, but for the team fight as well. So we'll see the stock standard bans coming in, at least from the side of Buriram, right? So no mine and no higher, but the pay is open. It looks like Buriram wants to get that first.
Oh, there we go. The Dolly again banned out here for VP. They're really, like you said, locking down those support picks. But if we look at the meta over the past few days, were these really going to be prior picks for Buriram United?
I mean, I think maybe they're scared of the Yang Jin Dolia combination, right?
Okay.
But the Lorian comes in.
Here we go.
So this is going to be the Nunu special. How special is the Lorian performance today? I'm curious because VP has been watching since day number 1, even in the play-ins. What kind of homework did you do?
I don't know, but I mean, that's a meaty farm lane duo down there to the bot side of the map. We have AG.AL, and as we just recently speaking about there, T-Gold does get one of, obviously, like we're saying, one of the most prestigious farm lanes there as well. So, like Clue, we know is able to be free to roam the map, help mid lane, help jungle advance, or accelerate their farm. And he knows that it's going to be T-Gold after level 4. It's going to be fine.
And if there's any hero that is synonymous with Clue, it's the Zhang
It's
Fei, right?
Zhang Fei, yeah.
He is one of the best, most consistent Zhang Fei players out there. But here comes the pain. You know what? We're not going to split the series to give you, one by one. We're going to have both of the AOV heroes coming in. And we're going to have the Florentino come in. This is going to be in the hands of Yishong. Now, Yishong is also the secondary class player for the side of Buriram. But here is the real pain. Valdez with the pay.
I mean, that's a crazy 3 starter picks, right? And for the whole series, we were like, man, you got to watch out for Lorian. Man, you got to watch out for pay. Florentino, I haven't seen the greatest performance on.
No,
but this team being from Arena of Valor, if there's anybody that's going to be able to pilot this, it's going to be Clash laners from that game, Whereas the pay, that's also surprised me on teams like Buriram United. This is not a hero that has any kind of equivalent, right? It's different, but they are able to be precise with it. And we know Valdez. Valdez he loves those early to mid-game junglers, like his pay is a Gudo. That's when he's had his best performance.
Okay, so let's talk about their opponents at this point. But because we brought this up earlier, right? The Byron coming in. This is 90's bread and butter. So he has it now on the Byron with shields, and with the pick on the Zhang Fei, one of the immediate answers we see from teams is, okay, we're gonna pick up the Lapu Lapu for the Raging Sea, but that has been banned out. No Lianpo as well. So the big 3 in terms of tanks for the roam, that is gone. You are forced now to consider the utility roams. Diadea, Sakir, Tyen. Oh no, Diadea is banned as well.
Exactly.
No. So what are you left with, man?
Left with, like you said, Sakir is banned. He can't be picked, So when we look down to the bot side of the map, is it going to be kind of forcing them to go for something like a U1, right? Go something with a little bit more sustain there, able to obviously use them, using to use that AoE to obviously check rushes, do everything like that before you walk into it, but also kind of like try and stop these big engages. So obviously if Zhang Fei pops the Unbridled Outburst and you have your Unending Sorrow, you can kind of mitigate that CC at that moment in time.
Okay, so they have picked up the pages from the textbook of Buriram here, right? So taking the Xiao in the mid lane for Hailang. Hailang hasn't really shown too many times of the Xiao, but you can be sure it's a guarantee that he will play well on this hero. How well, though, against Nunu on this Lorian? He is the gold standard of this mid lane hero. I'm just curious to see. They're leaving the jungler for the last counter pick against the side of Buriram.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting what these last 2 picks are going to be here, right? Obviously, we're looking for the jungle and we're looking for marksman. Obviously, we know that Ali has not been taken off of the Gorge here for them, but they're going to go and lock in the Chano here as well.
Okay. And
certain kind of flavor matchups, it is going to be the Hue-1, like I said earlier, just to give them a bit of sustainability. Because if you look at their draft, in terms of frontline, it's only going to be Hue-1 that's really going to be like a pseudo. It's not the greatest kind of substitute for a tank roam. So we'll have to see how they do. Obviously, Chano is going to be a bit of a late game assurance here for the side of Buriram United, but the Xiao Xiao, I feel like, complements AG.AL, right? Obviously, AG.AL, mid-range hero. We know that we can get the poke potential here with Xiao Xiao. It's also a good counter, not lane counter, but for the AG.AL. So I think that's a good pick here for Virtus Pro to be taken.
I mean, it's a risky draft if you're looking at it from a Honor of Kings perspective because they're so squishy on the side of Buriram.
Yeah.
But they know how to play these heroes to the absolute limit. At the same time, I like this understanding of the game from the side of VP. VP, they have a lot of control, and with the Nerza pick as the final one, not only do you dilute the heal values, you're also able to reposition yourself in the middle of fights. It's gonna get a lot messier for Nunu here.
Yeah, it is going to get very, very, very messy, but like you were saying about the nerds as well, right? Like, you could be using that Skyfall to get rid of the Unending Sorrow before you go into a team fight, right? Because if you're able to force that out, there is no real mitigation of damage control. There's no longer a mitigation of it. It's a damage control point when you are trying to make sure that less of your players are getting CC'd, because once 3-4 men get CC'd by that Zhang Fei, 90's going to be in the wing by, that Xiao Xiao's going to go in, use that AoE just to do a lot of damage, and then obviously burst potential here from Lung is going to be exponential if he gets the lead here. So T-Gold, I feel like if he gets focused, then that could be the means of victory here for Buriram United.
So if you take a look at the draft, these are two completely flow states coming in. The draft on the side of Buriram is more like water. They want to flow. There's a lot of mobility involved, a lot of mechanical skills. On the other hand, if you take a look at VP, it is looking like a container. They want to contain the roster of Buriram. So once again, help us out. Give us the votes in the Overlord pit. We have a voting system. Vote for your favorite team. It is now dominated, I believe, by Virtus Pro.
Yes, at least 4/5, right? If we're looking at mathematical equations there for you. But definitely a big vote here for the KML teams. Obviously showing some respect here. Showing the AOV gameplay. Can't wait to see Buriram United playing Brew Blood, but into the mid lane. Double knock up here from Highlang. Is that the Brew Blood that they're looking for?
I think this aggression is definitely necessary at this point, and with the help of Taos as well, they should be able to get a decent wave clear. Now, bear in mind that Taos, as a U1, will be able to give you back a little bit of help, but potential first blood here.
Oh, potential. I mean, top side of the map as well. We are seeing a bit of a scuffle in there. A lane swap as well for both the marksman and the clash lane. So Byron going head-to-head against the Chano. Chano obviously outranges Lung level 1 because of his soaring shot as well.
Yeah, I like this rotation coming in, right? Because for Yu Xiong, he can't do a 2v1. The specialty of a Florentino pick is the ability to take one-on-ones with great precision as well. But VP, the faster rotation wins, and they have made that first move in the Crimson buff.
भाई माइक ऑफ करके बोले जा रहा हूँ भाई तब से मैं, हे भगवान भाई यार अभी चलो कोई बात नहीं, 1 मिनट हुआ है मैच स्टार्ट हुए भाई, अच्छा खासा BRU भाई ये टीम अच्छा खेलती है, BRU अच्छा खेलती है गाइस। VP वर्सेस BRU, लेट्स गो गाइस, देखते हैं कौन सी टीम जीतती है, ठीक है। बताओ गाइस, मैं तब से बोले जा रहा हूँ भाई, माइक ही ऑफ है भाई, माइक ही वो प्लग इन वो हो गया था, डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था। अच्छा खासा डैमेज तो दे रही है भाई, पॉइंट देखो दोनों के बराबर चल रही है। ये मैचेस ना गाइस, ऐसे मैचेस देखने में उनको बड़ा मजा आता है, जिसमें पॉइंट्स ना एकदम बराबर हो रहा है, देख रहे हो 6.2 6.3, मतलब पॉइंट्स वो जो कॉइंस होते हैं ना वो है इनके।
The flip side, it's not the same for Clue, right? He does manage to catch up a little bit more in EXP and farm, but T-Gold, we're talking about this just now. He is not.
देखो पॉइंट देखो 7.4k, इधर 7.2k, देख रहे हो बराबर है ऑलमोस्ट।
Ultimates off the gorge now. If we're going to strike onto T-Gold, this is your moment, but we do see a good.
इनके फाइट देखने में मजा आएंगे भाई, सही बात है भाई। यार ये वाला कैरेक्टर लेके ना मैं भी खेलता हूँ, ये वाला कैरेक्टर, ये मस्त है ब्रो, ये वाला दिखाता हूँ मैं तुमको। What is this Zoe? ये है HOK, Honor of Kings इंडिया का पहला मोबा गेम, समझ रही हो? और इसका ये चल रहा है KWC EWC में टूर्नामेंट, जिसमें कि इंडिया की 2 टीम पार्टिसिपेट कर रही है, मतलब कर रही थी अभी वैसे तो, क्योंकि दोनों टीम अभी डिस्क्वालीफाई हो, मतलब वो हो चुकी गेम से बाहर, ठीक है, लेकिन इतने बड़े स्टेज में जाके खेला ना जोई, वही बहुत बड़ी बात है, समझ रही हो? ये गेम समझ में आ रहा है तुमको जोई? कुछ भी थोड़ा सा बोलेगी नहीं आ रही, नहीं आ रही, नहीं आ रही।
That's why junglers get angry when you take the camp,
Yes,
right? Because
yes.
one camp, it was literally just
Light on करना पड़ेगा तो
golem
गिरा
going
है
into the hands of AG.AL, and
Yeah.
it made the world's difference. Now a half a level EXP lead is also going to be able to jump on the back lines.
Okay, charging तो कर रही है
It's so hard to fight against him.
Yep. And we all know obviously Nerds is a scaling.
Oh, nice, 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 nice.
A little bit faster.
Oi.
It's going to mean that it's going to be a little bit more
Oi,
powerful for the side.
oi.
Bureau United, top side of the map here. We're looking for a potential takedown. It is going to be you, Song, who's going to be the
ये
first
गया, एक तो
one.
जाएगा,
But
एक तो जाएगा भाई, एक तो जाएगा.
Trying to be a bit of a clean-up clue. There it is. We see Jungle fall for Clash Lane, but Virtus Pro are not done yet. Unbridled outburst onto the back line. Take down onto Nunu. 3-for-1 trade. Virtus Pro very clean.
भाई 3 पॉइंट निकाल लिए वे इन्होंने.
In the middle of a 2v1,
माँ कसम भाई.
they don't really have the resources to go and wrestle for the tyrant, and they know it on the side of VP, so they will make life difficult for Valor. He does secure his Azure Golem at this point.
भाई साहब ये गलत हुआ रे.
This is a T1 at the top, 1,000 gold going to the side of VP, and Clue, I mean that last unbridled outburst to finish up, make sure they get the finishing blow as well. In this particular exchange,
Yes. I mean,
it was the right decision for Valdes to not go in.
Yeah.
But it was unfortunate they had to spend a little bit more time to get Jabal. They did get him in the end, but this is the value of the Nerds. He buying time for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what when we see that it's come through, buying time is the whole point of the game. But this vengeful right left best, that was personal, right? It's like, you know what? I'm not gonna get everybody, but I'm gonna get one person in particular, and it's
Tyrant मारने आगे देख लो भाई.
take down onto as well. But you're saying it really good.
Tyrant ये लोग भाई तुरंत मार रहे हैं.
It's starting to
VP 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 क्या लगता है VP जीतेगी कौन जीतेगी?
The tyrant now.
शायद VP जीत जाएगी भाई.
By the side of Virtus Pro, and
पॉइंट्स भी बड़े हैं इनके.
I don't want Burn Frams to kind of look top side of the scoreboard here as well. Obviously, the gold is definitely into the favor of Virtus Pro.
The biggest challenge now is we haven't seen the 90 exchange yet, right? This Byron has yet to pull out any value for the team fights simply because he's not needed at this point. Now, he will start to jump on Valdes. He is low.
Uh-oh, yep, very low there. I mean, not too low, but he's able to pounce out that one there using his tiger form. And then we see Yusong just kind of patching up the wound, saying, guys, just I'm going to push him away. You can get safe. But at the same time, they're not even safe in their own jungle because that T1 takedown, top side of the map, means that it's easy access here for Virtus Pro. Has been replicated in bot side of the map there as well. The Lorien ult onto the back line is not going to get followed up there. The flash from Lecky is a problem. They know that Chano is a sitting duck at this point.
Let's go.
Hailang, he's so good. That was a big save. Tigo got caught. He was open for the taking. But simply
पॉइंट ज्यादा हो गए लेकिन इनके यार.
there was no other
20,000 पहुंच गए
option.
पॉइंट.
Trying to go on 90. But he has a lot of shoes to work with, and the team is backing him up. I don't think they want to do this. Uriram, this is a distraction play. They want to try and get the T1 at the bottom. But here comes a potential trade in mid.
Looking for a potential trade here in mid. Obviously, shield potential, like you were saying there, about 90. Not only does he have Byron's utility, the kit of that shield, he has the Stampede, the Leaping Savior from Clue as well. Just means it's going to be even harder, especially when you are playing from behind, like Bury United right now, to melt down that Byron.
Yeah, and it gives you a lot more access. Like, let's focus on Clue for a little bit, right? Instead of going for reaction, this guy actually goes for Radiance. And that deals damage and slows you down. So everything is set up so that VP can play even better as a team. This is a team effort here.
Well, it's because they know they're going to get to ALV team, right? They love to scrap in these team fights. So the knock-up there onto Valdes is obviously very lethal here. It's going to be Lecky that's going to be aimed into the back line there. The unbridled outburst does catch onto Lecky. Takedown of the farm lane is going to be the aim of the game here for the side of Virtus Pro.
एक गया इसका भी.
Nice 3-man elevation there from the side of Burium United, but it's not going to be enough to actually claim anything here for them. They stop the assault onto their base. I think that's the best that they can hope for right now.
It's just a better composition at this point, right? You can start to see the value of VP's comp. Why is it so hard to fight? Because they have so many shields. Just 90 alone has a one-man army shield, and this is aided on by Clue with his Leaping Savior as well. And with the goalie EXP differential, VP now is not the biggest. It's what, 1,500 gold. But every team fight is structured and goes in their direction because they get the knockups and they finish the job.
Exactly, the knockup, as you just said there, on point. It's going to force out that ulti there from Taos. Now is the time for Virtus Pro to try and calculate some kind of strike here. They don't have a minion wave, so I can't imagine them going to aggress here unless the Nerds decides to fly in and put some pressure on. However, bot side of the map, they do have availability.
I mean, the palms on the side of VP are so big.
Knockup after knockup.
यार देखा तुम लोगों ने?
The Tony Hawk there.
ये देखो.
Knockup after
the palms on the side of VP are so big.
भाई डैमेज कैसा दिया bro?
Paul Leckie had more airtime than Tony Hawk there in that engage into the brush, but it's going to be bot side of the map here. The T2 takedown potentially for Virtus Pro, just using Laurie and just clear up that minion wave.
We talked about the container play from the side of VP, right? They're containing them.
Yes.
There's too much CC, they can't do anything. They don't have the damage to deal with Clue as well. And this BP, everything started from there. No big tanks in a row, you can't do anything.
It was pretty much like destined to be a bit of a
हाँ भाई इनका 3 पॉइंट का गैप है लेकिन देखना भाई ये 3 पॉइंट कितना मुश्किल रहेगा BRU के लिए लेना या कुछ भी हो सकता है I don't know.
Like don't let your opponents take away these tanks, take away these vital supports. So if we look at like Virtus Pro's bans, right, in game number 1, they're all support bans. So the fact is they know how strong Taos is as the backbone of Birmingham United. Just shows that they're playing like a 4D chess game here.
Yes, limiting your options and adding on.
पकड़ाया भाई एक पकड़ाया VP का प्लेयर भाग गया.
This game, it doesn't matter whether Valor gets a couple of licks on him. Fine, he does have his infinite fastness. He can take the disguise as a dragon, and every single advantage now is going to the way of VP. Look, they even forced the Azure Golem to go into the hands of Taos. Yes. You want that on Valor? He needs the gold.
Exactly, he needs.
हाँ भाई गोल्ड लेने के लिए भाई ये इनके इसको मार रहे हैं भाई देख रहे हो?
He has one assist. He hasn't died yet. I feel like that's kind of like the silver lining here for Birmingham United is the fact that they haven't actually been able to.
भाई पॉइंट्स VP पॉइंट्स के लिए जा रही है बस सिर्फ और सिर्फ पॉइंट्स के लिए जा रही है.
Especially how brutal VP have been in diving onto the enemy team.
Yeah, man, and this is the bait. They don't want to take this now. No. They're inviting Buriram for a fight. And, this is where things get a little bit dicey. Do you want to contest? You are behind on gold. And at this point, one fatal...
दोनों ही टीम गोल्ड लेने के पीछे पड़ी है भाई.
Behind on gold, you don't quite have your Crimson Golem, but you might not even have Leckie in a moment's time. Obviously, using the free charge there onto the side of VP. Needs a claim and drive away Birmingham United from the Tyrant Pit. But it's going to be Usung into the backline there. The Infinite Vast has been brought through just to being a bit of fear here and forced to flash out from Birmingham United. They are running scared.
Yeah, both Clash laners doing really well to isolate the rest of the team, split the fight. They want to get the farm laners, but both teams know how to play this game. They will be successful in fending each other off, and the reset happens. But is it a fair trade? No, it's definitely not. VP still very much in control.
Yeah, like you said, obviously defend each other off, but are you defending?
हाँ भाई ये बात है VP ने बड़े डिफेंड करा भाई.
To the mid, right? Like that's not a really good defense, but it's the best defense option Birmingham United had.
Okay, I like the urgency.
Oh!
Okay, nice double man knock up there. Beautiful access onto 90. But can they get a bit more? The Splendor has bought a bit of time.
गया दूसरा भी.
That is going to be an extra kill going up to Birmingham United. They are looking for a little bit more here. T-Gold is going to be the only damage dealer here onto the side of VP. But it doesn't.
अरे नहीं.
He's into the back line. Leckie gets taken down. Triple kill.
अरे यार.
Onto Nunu. And now they are looking for a bit of a brawl. 2v1. It's going to be Usong as well as Valdez. They are both on the run. They are scared.
Oh, you can't do it.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. This guy is him.
Yeah, 4 kills in a row. I mean, for the team, VP now, they have a 3-kill advantage, but that's not even the biggest pain point. The differential, close to 4,000 gold in advantage to Virtus Pro. And they also have now an opportunity to take the Shadow Overlord, right? Yes, just now they had the Primal Bond, they couldn't risk it. And I like the idea that Buriram had. Okay, you know what? Let's make the immediate trade.
VP जीत जाएगी ये game, VP जीत जाएगी.
They want to make the exchange as fast as possible. But they know this on VP, and what a way to make them pay for it.
Wait, the fact that this guy on the nerd set, he's like, you know what? Just keep bringing it. I'm taking it. I'm being generous. Just keep punching me. I'm gonna keep getting back up. 613 KDA here. That's like I think probably the best nerd set performance we've seen so far within KWC, and this replay is gonna show it.
Yeah. So this is the main difference here. It looked pretty good for the side of Buriram because they finally got the lockdown and stun. This came from the Tao's second skill on the E1 as well, and it looked good for a pretty moment. But when you don't have your frontliners trying to defend and deter the rest of VP on attacking, that's already one big problem. Second problem is that Jabba is already level 15. He is the guy with 6 different kills. He is perfect itemization. Went for the frigid charge as well to slow down, give him more time to get damage over time.
I mean, you look at here, right? Obviously, Bruce trying to be, he is levels of notches ahead about them, but what's the point having damage if you have no effect onto the enemy team fight, right? T3 down bot side of the map has been pressured and taken down here as well. We have the Vanguard slowly approaching. Burim United trying to form some kind of defense.
Yeah, they can flow like water. Water can cut through rocks, but you need a lot of time to do that. And time is something they don't have. VP already knocking on the door. They don't have to over-aggress. The Shadow Overlord has already done its job. They have opened up access into the T3 at the bottom. Mega Minions flash from House.
Oh my goodness, such an aggressive flash there, but Jiba was like, no, what? That's my green light onto the backline. You leave Lecky open when you flash in with 2 heroes. That is your problem. We are seeing trades across the gorge here, so this could be the saving grace for Burim United into the backline. He's going to use Song with a triple kill, but now he has to run and hide. 90 is like the Shining. Here's Johnny.
That could have been the game-saving play there. Yishong, if he did not wipe out the backline on the side of VP, this game definitely would have been over. And this is the value of the Florentino. CC immunity and huge dive. Now, Buriram, they don't really have a lot of time, but we'll take a look at this. Nice setup from the side of Nunu. But here's the big problem. Xiaobao is already on your backlines. Licky, he's so used to having so much space in all the games he's played to get the free damage in. So what does VP do? They just go straight for the source of the problem. And on the backlines, very good work on the side of Yishong to try and deter the rest of the team from coming in. Successful. That is 1 point of success. But can he do it again?
Exactly. I mean, like we were saying, Virtus Pro, best nerds of performance so far within KWC. I have to give it over to Usong here. That Florentino was a masterpiece, and it was the means of losing this game number 1, forcing it into around about a 15-minute game now. And obviously, that gold lead is still not too far behind, right? It's only 2k gold at this point, which isn't like any kind of means of like, oh, we can't come back in this one. But we are looking for the takedown to steal onto the side of Virtus Pro. Gets the Tyrant. It's going to be the triple man knockup onto the side of Burim United, but that's not going to be enough. Not the stopping force here that they need. It's going to be T-Goal taken to the sky, crashing down. We see a 3-1 trade here for the side of Virtus Pro, and they're looking for an ace. Voldus has turned into a kitty cat. Meow. He has to get out.
Yeah, Clue as well as 90, all right? This is so hard to defend. You are a one-man. This is not even an army. This is a Tiger against the Tamers at this point, and he will be tamed. Valdez tries to push them back, but here we go. Game number 1 should go to Virtus Pro. They push him back one more time, and VP
क्या खेली है भाई? Nice यार.
Very well played from Virtus Pro. Did I expect anything but less from KML? Nah, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it was a good effort, and this is where we start to see, right, the different styles when we clash. We want a more fluid movement from the side of Buriram. It does work, but it's very hard to execute, especially when you don't have the goalie, you don't have the EXP. The jungle role is so important. You need to have success within the first 4 minutes.
And especially the fact, like we saw with that last player of the base, right? Obviously, Taos flashes in, Nudu flashes in. Like he's kind of like, guys, I've got no.
भाई और कितने स्ट्रीम करोगे आप? मैं अभी रुक जा, एक सेकंड देखने दे.
Aggressive play really worked there. Able to obviously
50 minutes.
Virtus Pro, but unfortunately, it did spell the means to the end there for game 1.
Virtus Pro takes 1-0 lead on top of Buriram United Esports. That was a very leveled match. It was not those one-sided. It was just coming and going. The beautiful
2 घंटा बोला था ना तेरे को?
having
2 घंटा बेटी.
different understanding of the patch. The Florentinos coming in, the Lorians coming in. That is the main idea of our KWC 2026, man. Just the variety. How can we make the ecosystem so much stronger, so much better by just having players that know these 2 heroes?
I mean, this is why we're sharing the stage, right, with the two different games. And at this point, this shows the understanding of Virtus Pro for the draft of Buriram United, right? This is a very scary draft, by the way. This is 3 big monsters, the Pei, Florentino, and This is meant to create space for Licky so he can get the free hits in. But here's what's lacking, the stun. And Taos only can offer you the stun every couple seconds. So VP said, you know what, let me make life difficult for you. With the Nerza pick, I'm going to split the fight in half. Who are you going to choose to defend?
And I think that is the main idea of what Virtus Pro, why they're the champions of their whole region, right? Because they see these openings and they can really just capitalize from the hero picks.
Yeah, make it Burim United choose whatever you are. You a top bun kind of guy or a bottom bun kind of guy? Because it was just completely split. The what you go for, it's literally clubs left on that one. But speaking of what's been left here onto the gorge, there's so much damage here coming from the side of Virtus Pro. And even the fact that AG.AL here on that 29% damage dealt on a tank, on a Nerza, like, this is really a good masterclass for teams watching this game to be like, right, okay, I need to up my Nerza game.
This is exactly what you should be doing. scouting as a Nursa, right? Split the fight. Make sure that you have to be the focal point of the opponent team. And while that happens, if you are able to take down the farm lane on the side, which in this case for Buriram United Esports is Licky, then you give a lot more space for the side of Tigo. And I like the way that Hailang played this game and Xiao. He wasn't looking for just engages. He was also a safety net, right? Every single time Buriram was able to allow Yushong to come in to the backlines, that was Hailang's responsibility. I will break your combo up. And once that momentum is stopped, this is where 90 shines, Clue shines, Tigo comes in. And suddenly you find yourselves in a horrendous situation, 1v5.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you have to give props over to Nunu, right? Like, I think like this is the most 3-man knockups I've ever seen on a Lorien this far. And it's very impressive, but it's also a good counter towards, obviously, the way that Virtus.pro is playing. When you've got so many players, so many heroes diving in on you, Lorien CC Ultimate is going to be the best means to kind of just drive them away.
And I want to just highlight Tigo. This time, I've seen the growth. We've seen him in KML, and I think this is wonderful. But Isaac, I want to know what you want to think.
You know what? I do believe that Hailang over there on that Xiao pick was actually, for me, the best player in the field. We saw him how the last Tyrant fight, they already, like, Buriram United already started the Tyrant. And it's Hailang, the one that through his stun allows his team to come in and just claim that one. We're going to give you more action of these two teams after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's just a better composition at this point, right? You can start to see the value of VP's comp. Why is it so hard to fight? Because they have so many shields. Just 90 alone has a one-man army shield. And
let's go. थोड़ी देर देखते हैं guys यहाँ पे. अच्छा खेली VP.
And with the goalie, EXP differential. It's not the biggest. It's what, 1,500 gold. But every team fight is structured.
भाई BRU का गन जीती है भाई, मजाक थोड़ी है भाई.
They get the knockups and they finish the job.
Exactly, the knockup as you just said there.
ये देखो भाई, ये देखो भाई. रगड़ा भाई एकदम पकड़ के.
Now is the time for Virtus.pro to try and calculate some kind of strike.
रगड़ दिया भाई एकदम.
So I can't imagine them going to aggress here unless the Nerds decides to fly in and put some pressure on. However, bot side of the map, they do have availability.
I mean, the palms on the side of VP are so big.
Oh, double knockup, knockup after knockup. Paul Leckie had more airtime than Tony Hawk there in that engage into the brush, but it's going to be bot side of the map here. The T2 takedown potentially for Virtus.pro, just using Lorien, just clear up that minion wave.
We talked about the container play from the side of VP, right? They're containing them. There's too much CC. They can't do anything. They don't have the damage to deal with Clue as well. And this VP, everything started from there. No big tanks in a row. You can't do anything.
It was pretty much like destined to be a bit of a failure, right? Because obviously what we used to be seeing from Buriram United, like you were saying there, the tank support meta is huge. And in a best of 3, why not abuse that, right? Like, don't let your opponents take away these tanks, take away these vital supports. So if we look at, like, Virtus.pro's bans, right, in game number 1, they're all support bans. So the fact is they know how strong Taos is as the backbone of Buriram United. Just shows that they're playing like a 4D chess game here.
Yes, limiting your options and, you know, adding on more of your own. T-Gold, he can be so greedy this game. It doesn't matter whether Valor gets a couple of licks on him. Fine, he does have his infinite fastness. He can take the disguise as a dragon. And every single advantage now is going to the way of VP. Look, they even forced the Azure Golem to go into the hands of Taos. You want that on Valor. He needs the gold.
Exactly. He needs anything he can get right now. I mean, he has no kills. He has 1 assist. He hasn't died yet. I feel like that's kind of like the silver lining here for Buriram United, is the fact that they haven't actually been able to catch boulders, which is a good job, especially how brutal VP have been in diving onto the enemy team.
And this is a bait. They don't want to take this now. They're inviting Buriram for a fight. And, you know, this is where things get a little bit dicey. Do you want to contest? You are behind on gold. And at this point, one fatal mistake could cost you the game.
Yeah, behind on gold, you don't quite have your Crimson Golem, but you might not even have Leckie in a moment's time. Obviously, using the frigid charge there onto the side of VP needs a claim and drive away Buriram United from that Tyrant pit. But it's going to be Usung into the backline there. The Infinite Vast has been brought through just to being a bit of fear here and forced to flash out from Buriram United. They are running scared.
Yeah, both Clash laners doing really well to isolate the rest of the team, split the fight. They want to get the farm laners, but both teams know how to play this game. They will be successful in fending each other off, and the reset happens. But is it a fair trade? No, it's definitely not. VP still very much in control.
Yeah, like you said, obviously defend each other off, but are you defending that minion wave that just literally took the T2 to the mid, right? Like, that's not a really really good defense, but it's the best defense option Bureen United had.
Okay, I like the urgency. Oh, nice
okay.
knockup.
Nice double man knockup there. Beautiful access under 90. But can they get a bit more? The Splendor has bought a bit of time. But in the wrong means, that is going to be an extra kill going up to Bureen United. They are looking for a little bit more here. T-Gold is going to be the only damage dealer here onto the side of VP. But it doesn't matter. He's into the back line. Lecky gets taken down. Triple kill from the DOT onto Nunu. And now they are looking for a bit of a brawl. 2v1. It's going to be Usong as well as Valdez. They are both on the run. They are scared.
Oh, you can't do it.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. This guy is him.
Yeah, 4 kills in a row. I mean, for the team, VP now, they have a 3-kill advantage, but that's not even the biggest pain point. The differential, close to 4,000 gold in advantage to Virtus Pro. And they also have now an opportunity to take the Shadow Overlord, right? Yes, just now they had the Primal Bond. They couldn't risk it. And I like the idea that Buriram had. Okay, you know what? Let's make the immediate trade. This is a very AOV trade. They want to make the exchange as fast as possible. But they know this on VP, and what a way to make them pay for it.
Wait, the fact that this guy on the nerd set, he's like, you know what? Just keep bringing it. I'm taking it. I'm being generous. Just keep punching me. I'm going to keep getting back up. 613 KDA here. That's, like, I think, probably the best nerd set performance we've seen so far within KWC, and this replay is going to show it.
Yep, so this is the main difference here. It looked pretty good for the side of Buriram because they finally got the lockdown and stun. This came from the Tao's second skill on the E1 as well. And it looked good for a pretty moment, but when you don't have your frontliners trying to defend and deter the rest of VP on attacking, that's already one big problem. Second problem is that Jabba is already level 15. He is the guy with 6 different kills. He has a perfect itemization.
Let's go, guys.
More time to get damage over time.
I mean, you look at here, right? Obviously, Bruce trying to be, he is levels of notches ahead about them, but what's the point having damage if you have no effect onto the enemy team fight, right? T3 down bot side of the map has been pressured and taken down here as well. We have the Vanguard slowly approaching.
In half, who are you going to choose to defend?
खत्म हो गया ना इनका तो शुरू होगा दूसरा मैच लेट्स गो एक और मैच है भाई देखते हैं इस बार क्या BRU हम बैक कर पाती है या नहीं
use the forward marksman just to get that, but they're going to ban out the Xiao here as well, really kind of put in a homage onto Nunu and his hero pool thus far within KWC 2026.
I think that's the biggest sign of respect, and also showing that they have done a lot of research for you, right? Knowing that Nunu, number one, he has shown you how to play Xiao, but not only that, but show you how to counter the Lorion.
Yes.
But Lorion, of course, has been banned in this game. In fact,
इस बार कुछ नई स्ट्रेटजी बना रहे हैं शायद BRU वाले हाँ इस बार तो कमबैक होके रहेगा शायद
I don't think you want to pick a net or a butterfly down here. It's a little bit too risky. You're too squishy at this point.
Oh, very, very squishy. We need some kind of front line, right? I feel like it's going to either come in the form of the jungle, clash lane. It has to be, right? Onto the side of Burma United, they're going to go for the newer here as well. Obviously, not only have they got to watch out for one new, the creation blocks is also going to create some big obstacles here for the side of Virtus Pro into these team fights. And if we look at anything from last game, they like to be all clumped into these team fights. So I feel like if you have creation blocks, if you're stuck between a horse, it's kind of really hard to either escape or actually make any kind of means of an engage. It means like it needs a second thought.
And the outrange potential is pretty huge as well, right?
Yes.
Nuwa is a hero that you can play from afar when you use the creation blocks. There is a plus sign, and the full extent of the plus sign still gives you damage, so it's really hard to play. And this is also a late game insurance for the side of Buriram. If this series goes late, this game too goes late, they can turn this around. But here we go. I was thinking this, right? Game 1, one of the reasons why they won so hard was because they had the dive potential from Nerja. What's the other hero that does this really well? Is the Jing.
And obviously you could shove, right? Like if there's a hero in that Jing's ultimate, right? You shove them, you get a little bit of a CC. It's like only a second, but it's enough to do a lot of damage here, and it's gonna be so.
पूरा strategically भाई BRU अभी वो कर रही है, team select, hero select कर रही है, देख रहे हो?
He kind of played him like an assassin, just a bit of a tankier one, damage over time. Whereas this is gonna be burst, burst, burst.
I'm pretty concerned here because look, this is another one of 90 specials, right? In HOK,
the Dharma.
This is one of the most potent heroes you will see.
Yeah.
Because once he gets the catch on you, that slam against the wall of the truth mantra, essentially you might be out of the game for a very long time. But I like the response. BRU, they're going for the Ying pick.
Who will win map 2? देखते हैं भाई.
High mobility. Very high mobility.
ये जीतेगी वैसे तो.
I made this point yesterday when we saw the
यही जीतेगी भाई VP.
counterpoint. You can kind of use those spirit wolves to kind of like.
लेकिन क्या पता कमबैक हो जाए भाई कुछ भी. ऐसा हो जाए अगर मजा आ जाए.
And obviously you're able to get that setup for the team by that long range kind of like slam that we see from Ying as well from the ultimate.
So does this channel pick aid VP or does it inevitably aid the Ying in the team fights? That's something that we need to really take a closer look at as we head into the second game. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is series point. Who is it for? It's for Virtus Pro.
Yep, it is for Virtus Pro, but it means this is the pinnacle point for, or especially the penultimate point for Burium United to come back, right? Like, if they don't do it here, then sorry, you go to the lower bracket. You go and meet Revenant Esports, right? Like, that's going to be a potential matchup there.
Well, I think for BRU, the concern is...
Let's go, match start हो गया guys. अब मजा आएगा.
Now, it's in their face. They want to come back. They want to show the resilience. They are champions of their own league for a reason. And champions never shy away from a challenge.
They never shy away, absolutely not. But the votes are definitely going over to the side of VP once again into that Overlord pit. The confidence of the online community is with the KML.
Yeah, and I like this idea coming in from the side of Buriram. You know what?
ओए पहले राउंड में ही फाइट पे जा रहे भाई. What the heck? ये क्या भाई?
You know what? I've missed playing a tank. Okay, nice takeaway there for Highland into the mid lanes, able to steer away those pits away from Buriram, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't quite have level 4 yet. He does have the flash. He's able to get out of there. The creation box are a little bit too slow from Nunu.
How important was that second skill stun coming in from the side of Highline, man? If he did not, he was going to be first blood.
I don't think VP would have been too happy with that. Neither would Highline. Highline, we know, is a very emotional player. Keeps himself to high standards. And I mean, that kind of pays off with the attitude that he has because he has reached incredible heights within KWC.
कुछ भी बोलो, BRU अच्छा खेल रही है भाई. Sorry, VP अच्छा खेल रही है भाई.
Important portion, right? Yeah. Keeping calm, keeping your composure. Yes, this is an ideal situation for VP where you're leading the series 1-0 in a best of 3, but you don't count out BRU now. They're gonna start.
ये कौन सा कैरेक्टर है यार? घोस्ट राइडर वाला. ये मस्त लगता है यार. बाइक में घूम रहा है देखो. कैसे?
Absolutely not. Using the space right there just to make the rotation a bit faster and a bit more safe here for AG.AL as well. Oh, okay. Buriram is actually taking the lead in the votes here. It seems like their region's got online for you. We can't have that. We can't have that disrespect. Let's ball some points into that one. Let's give the boys a bit of influence with on the gorge. They are not at home. They are in a different destination.
Yeah, they definitely need all the support they can get, right? At this point, this is one of the more stressful situations to be in. Yes, you have the lower bracket,
nice
safety net, but ideally you want to be in position 1. You want to be top of the group so that you get to choose your opponents in the next stage of this game. Now, with that being said, Buriram, I think they've been holding on well. They're keeping close in the gold department. About 300 gold that sets them apart. I think this will be the chance. First blood is definitely.
बहुत बढ़िया खेल रही है यहाँ पे guys. VP की team, let's go.
But they've got to really sort of like stop these takeovers of these little points, right? Obviously, Clue gets caught out there. Has to pull the flash onto the idea. Usong is all over Clue. He's able to get escaped there. Once again, that second skill from Highland is such a safety net. He's saving his support. It should be the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, this is aided on the fact that there is a rare miss from Taos on that Unbridled Albus. So you definitely can tell the nerves are getting to the side of BRU.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, realistically, this could be a matchup in the lower brackets finals, right? Like, we have KSG within this one. It's going to be a scary, hairy group to actually ride that upper bracket here for any team. But right now, Buriram United just using Nunu's emergence there just to see if there's anybody in the long brush, catch his eyes onto Clue there. They know that it's only one member, it's fine.
It is very important because finally on this time, in this second game of the series,
इधर बिल्कुल भी किसी टीम के guys points नहीं है, देख रहे हो? क्या interesting match चल रहा है?
As they were in game number 1, but right now, Clue, he's going to be very important. They catch out Towns. It's not the biggest moment just yet. He does have the Unbridled Albus. Game plan probably is, can we get him to waste it?
I love how they're playing the idea here, though, right? They're always going to have somebody nearby so we can use the heart link to get out. I feel like a lot of teams, they never really use that mechanic to the way it should be. Top side of the map here from Bruce, we have Usung as well as Valor. Lane, because we know if 90 gets a lead, he's able to be so free from that clash lane and create such gravitational plays.
Well, but that's not the case right now. BRU are faster in the rotations, and clash laners are rushing, making their way into the tower pit. This is going to be a standoff at the moment because Valor is looking at his Azure Golem. Falling low though.
I mean, how can you outsmite a Jing? You basically have two smites into the backline. It's going to be the mirror domain as well. We see Valdes looking low. He gets taken down there. It's actually going to be Clue with the first blood there, helping Jiabao as well as Highland going to take down onto towers, but it's going to be Usong trying to dictate the favor of Brew United into this team fight 2 for 2. Can they get a little bit more here? The emergence does come through here from Nunu. We do see the creation blocks coming through as well. Oh! Forcing the flash was a lifeline for Brewing United.
This one has been brewing for a little bit, but here's the biggest exchange. Both teams, the jungle and the roam fall. This 1v1 between Jabal as well as Valdes, that was so exciting. But the heals coming in. Clue, obviously, he wanted to give that kill over to his jungler Jabal, but he had to give the heals first. Unfortunately, they could not get the last hit from Jabal, so he did not get that kill. This is not looking good, but Valdes is also.
भाई 2v2 बराबर चल रहा है भाई, देख रहे हो?
Looking good even further, right? Obviously, yes, you trade both jungle and support for each other.
लेकिन पॉइंट अभी का VP के ज्यादा है.
Lose that T1 down bot side of the map, where that whole team fight was going for. But it's Pro. I love how they're playing. They're playing like some of the bigger teams within Honored Kings, right? They're not just going for a team fight. They're making sure they're getting something more from it.
Yeah. So it's up to BRU at this point, right? The pressure's on you. You're down behind by one game in the series, and I feel like Yusong is going to be very important, along with Taos. They need to have the perfect synergy in both of their catches. When you land the Unbridled Outburst, not just slam them against the wall, you need a fish for T-Goal or Jabal to be singular target so that the rest of BRU can get you.
Exactly. It's going to be a little bit easier to kind of fish for T-Goal as well, right? He doesn't have the infinite vastness this time around. He's really going to be kind of like holding on to that flash, the common skill here. But at the same time, Highland with these second skills is probably been the biggest denier of any access onto T-Goal thus far. And we need to get him to the late game for him to do some real damage.
This is such a different Highland from my memory, right? Highland has always been very aggressive, flashy plays, one-on-ones. And this time, he really has transitioned into an even stronger team player. The saves coming in, he's making sure that T-Goal gets all of the space and the safety that he needs.
Not only the safety, he's literally gathering like all these extra little bit of resources as well, right? Like that's slowly forming into a 2k gold lead at this moment in time. The kills are even Steven right now between these two teams, but as we know within HOK, kills aren't always the biggest metric of success, right?
It's not, it definitely is not, right? It's about what you do after it. Sure, you can get the kills, but if you don't get the turrets, you don't get the neutral objectives, then all of those kills are going to waste because you're not maximizing the value. Right now, talking about value, they have gotten a T1 on the top. Crew is just pushing Yusong away, and I like this a lot, right? One of the biggest things that happen is when you don't have an idea where the clash lane is.
Exactly. If you're not man-checking something like 1U, you probably set yourself for a bit of disaster there within those team fights, right? If it's Clue, if it's not Clue, it's Jobao here as well. After the Jing, we are seeing a bit of a TP from the side of Valdes just to make sure they're able to kind of just keep away this minion. So they're not going to get that T1 takedown potentially here. But VP's like, you know what? No, we're going to go for the T2 down bot side of the map here. We're opening that pressure. We're going to create more need for them to be apart from that mid lane.
It's one simple decision, right? The choice from Java to actually go onto Yusong forces out the sprint as well as the charge. They're going to try.
Catches onto T-Goal. Can they get a follow-up here as well? No, it's going to be into the back line. G-Bao is like, you know what? When you lead the charge, you leave your members behind. And unfortunately there for the side of Birmingham United, they are going to drop 3 for 1. But Valdes is looking for some more revenge here for his fallen boy. And Nunu into the back line with the emergence so well here. He's just single-handedly, with the help of Valdes, turned around that team fight.
That could have gone into a disastrous moment for the side of BRU if Nunu did not get that finish there. But he did. Yes, they gave 4 lives for the cost of 3 at this point, but Valdes is still alive. And this is important in the recovery. They will manage to successfully defend the T1, but let's take a look at this fight here. Very nice catch from Taos onto the side of T-Goal, but this is where the value of a utility roam comes in. And also, that follow-up truth mantra from 90. This is why this guy is so scary in the KML. And right now, putting his talents to the KWC stage is at this point of time, it is so spectacular. But Nunu, what a recovery. Did not hit the annihilation, by the way, but with that emergence, did save some time and go back into the pockets of BRU, but it's still not enough.
It is not enough, though, but at the same time, you can kind of see
VP के 6 पॉइंट BRU के 5 गाइस लेट्स गो
there has been a lot of
कमबैक होने का चांस है BRU का
given over that they can work with within that meantime. But right now, that T2 top side of the map here is looking to be potentially barraged here, but it's going to be the Arrow Storm that keeps them away, which is just a beautiful use of the low ball marksman, but into the back line is Boulders. He's taking the bait right now. It's going to be Angela as well as Clue here, just trying to keep T-Gold safe.
It's just always so close. They get T-Gold down low, but here comes Yishong here. He wants to try and defend the T1. I don't think they will allow that to happen. T1 will go into the hands of Virtus Pro from the mid side of BRU's side of the map.
The mid lane game state is definitely not safe here for the side of Burium United, and obviously now this just means, obviously, yes, bot side was already opened up, but now it's a clear ownage of their enemy's jungle, right? That Azure Golem was deleted.
Okay, silver lining though, Licky, yes, he did fall once, but T-Gold has also felt once in this game, and Licky has been consistently farming, right? So I think he's keeping pace, while he is like half a level behind T-Gold. This 10-minute mark is what defines it. Do we get the steal or not? Annihilation ready for the go?
Yes, he obviously has the insight there that they're at the tyrant, but he's like, you know what? A little bit too late there. Just like British Transport, that is like, they always come up once. Two come at once, but never do they hit the mark. You are late for work here for the side of Burium United for that comeback. 76 seconds left on the tyrant here. They do have a steady hand in this one, not in terms of gold, but VP have the extra damage.
Oh, Hailang, what a flash.
Oh my goodness, that was almost a 2-hit combo.
Yeah, I mean, he did force a flash from Licky. This means they can't really defend. Licky can't come into the fight without taking a huge risk. And this is a huge play. Did not get the kill, but it's not about the kills at this point. It's about getting the resources out of their hands. There is no more common spell available. And here we go. Another quick ultimate from Hailang. Yeah. You know, when you have the Angela, maximum cooldown, she takes about 20 seconds before her ultimate comes up again.
Exactly. I mean, the amount of obviously aid and support you get from the ultimate as well, just the pure rate of interest is so crazy on that hero. I don't understand why many other people don't pick it, especially when we're seeing this kind of like tank meta come through within under lately. And there it is. We do try and land the combo there. It's going to be enough to slow down.
He's gone.
But he's taking too much damage. He gets taken down by T-Gold as well. Brew are a little bit slow with that rotation to help their buddy.
You can't blame them. It's so hard. I mean, they expect Yishong to be able to survive. He does have the second skill to cleanse himself, but there's too many members on the side of VP.
Yeah, too many men right now. The T3 here for the side of Burium United. That's going to be the takedown of the bot side. Mid lane has a minion wave crashing through here as well. Baldus is going to have enough minion wave clear to get that one solid.
How many lives do they get? VP, look at the damage. Licky is actually doing quite a bit of damage onto the lineup entirely of VP, but every time they fall low, one heal from Clue, one redemption from Clue as well. Yep. It's all back to Gold State. And with that, Jabba actually secures the Shadow Overlord and Taos.
Oh, so he does get low. He has to force the unbridled outburst there as well just to get him to escape. And I feel like that's going to be another scary metric here for the side of Burium United, right? Like, they don't have that means of disengage for a very long time. We know that Virtus Pro has the Shadow Overlord as well. That just made securing these top two T3s left alone even harder.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at Nunu, yes, he just got the Savant's Wrath. There is damage, there is wave clear available, and Licky actually does really well in the wave clear department as well. But right now, it's not about the wave clear, it's about the team fights, because that's what VP is fishing for. Right now, you know, 90, he's just looking for them to be close enough to the walls, but he wants as many BRU members as possible.
He's looking greedy, right? He wants the full meal. He definitely doesn't want just a starter. He wants the whole course. He wants the dessert. On top of that, the dessert being the crystal there at the enemy base of Burium United right now.
Let's go.
Rocking through here, top side of the map.
ब्रू वापस से भाई खतरे में है भाई. ब्रू वापस से खतरे में है. नहीं भाई. अंदर घुस गए ये लोग. VP इतना अच्छा खेलती है पता ही नहीं था भाई.
If you want to take that combination of true mantra, it will have to be just two members. They will start to jump in. Baldus is looking for an opening.
Yeah, Baldus is definitely looking for an opening. The unbridled outburst is
Whoa.
on T-Gold into the back line there. Useful as well.
Whoa.
But it's going to be an opening of that back line for the side of Burium United. It looks like they may have to go into the back room and have a couple of brewskis. The quadra kill came through.
भाई एज कर लिया भाई. माय गॉड क्या खेली है भाई भाई साहब
in KWC, and this one goes into the hands of AG.AL. What a play from Virtus Pro.
Beautiful play there. Obviously,
भाई वीपी क्या खेली है भाई, घर पे घुस के मारा है ब्रो, घर के अंदर घुस के मारा है भाई.
The capture, the securing of T-Gold was beautifully done by Highlight.
Virtus Pro is going to move into the upper bracket. That pentakill right over there. Beautiful performance by Virtus Pro. Right now, we're going to be looking at the stage. Look at that. They are the winners, the players that came in. The first game, closer. Second game, it was just one-sided, I would say.
I mean, we were looking and asking the question, synergy, right? AG.AL coming in. He
अच्छा खेली भाई, बहुत अच्छा खेली है.
Reached the top of the stage with the team of TTG from KPL. Can he fit into the play style of Virtus Pro? And boy, did he fit. And he was leading the charge on the side of Virtus Pro.
फेरो गुरो क्या फेरो गॉड का Q&A कब आ जाएगा भाई वंश भाई, बहुत जल्द. भाई वीपी क्या खेल गई यार, लेकिन यार मानना पड़ेगा यार, तगड़ा भाई. नाइस.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like you were saying there, obviously, with the KPL player coming into the roster, trying to find that identity. I feel like, as well, you have to give props to the 4 of the members of the side of Virtus Pro. They rose to his expectations, you believe there, especially with that solid.
Yeah, I would give the props for teamwork. Like, they allowed the pentakill, right? In most cases, we would be like, no, 4 pentakill, no, I'm going to get your last one for your teamwork.
I think that he was really looking for that. Since game number 1, in game number 1, he was looking for it as well. I saw him a couple times, but then the second game, he really wanted it and he grabbed it.
Take a look at the scoreboard. What
Nice.
points out to you at this point?
I mean, it's this one right now, obviously.
काफी बढ़िया खेली भाई वीपी.
Exactly. It's so beautiful. It was like we saw a masterclass on the Nurture as well, and he kind of just played this one with just a bit more ferocity, right? Like he was like, okay, Brew made the same mistake as they did in the last game. They would always go in, commit so much of the front line, they'd leave.
भाई साहब
Baldus would be left to the walls, as well as Lecky.
ऐसे टीम से ना भाई क्या ही बोलोगे.
This is one of the series where Licky had no space. He was constantly under pressure, and this is why the big picks, Nerds are in game 1, Jing in game number 2. Look, they always were rising in that.
Bruce, we have and then obviously you were able to get that. The backline is going to be the mirror domain as well.
भाई यहीं से मारना चालू किया इनको.
He gets taken down there. It's actually going to be Clue with the first blood there, helping Gia.
भाई यहीं से मारना चालू किया था इनको यार.
But it's going to be Usong trying to dictate the favor of Brew United into this team fight 2 for 2. You have to get a little bit more here. The emergence does come through here from Nunu. We do see the creation blocks coming through as well. Oh, forcing the flash was a lifeline for Brew United.
This one has been brewing for quite a little bit, but here's the biggest exchange. Both teams, the jungle and the roam fall. This 1v1 between AG.AL as well as Valor, that was so exciting. But the heals coming in. Clue obviously.
वो टाइटन भाग ही नहीं पाया, टाइटन बनने के बाद स्लो हो जाता है कैरेक्टर.
But he had to give the heals first. Unfortunately, they could not get the last hit from AG.AL, so he did not get that kill. This is not looking good, but Valor is also in the same position.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking good even further, right? Obviously, yes, you
मेरा थोड़ी देख रहा है उसका, देखो.
But you lose the tyrant, you lose that T1 down by
मेरा
zero.
Virtus
Pro, I love how they're playing.
ये गेम में वो नहीं है ना, मेरा व्यूज नहीं है गेम में.
कौन देख रहा है? In Honor of Kings, right? They're not just going for a team fight, they're making sure they're getting something more from it.
Yeah. So it's up to BRU at this point, right? The pressure's on you. You're down behind by 1 game in the series, and I feel like Yusong is going to be very important, along with Taos. They need to have the perfect synergy in both of their catches. When you land the Unbridled Outburst, not just slam them against the wall. You need a fish for T-Gold or AG.AL to be singular target, so that the rest of BRU can get you.
Exactly. It's going to be a little bit easier to kind of fish for T-Gold as well, right? He doesn't have need for the fastest this time around. He's really going to be kind of like holding on to that flash, the common skill here. But at the same time, Highland with these second skills is probably been the biggest denier of any access onto T-Gold thus far. And we need to get into the late game for him to do some real damage.
This is such a different Highland.
जिस भी टीम को सपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ वो टीम चली जा रही है भाई, बताओ क्या ही बोले. वीपी देख रहे हो क्या निकाला है भाई, गेम मजा आ गया.
not only the safety is literally gathering like all these extra little bit of resources as well, right? Transforming into a 2k gold lead at this moment in time. The kills are even Steven right now between these two teams, but as we know within HOK, kills aren't always the biggest metric of success, right?
It's not. It definitely is not, right? It's about what you do after it. Sure, you can get the kills, but if you don't get the turrets, you don't get the neutral objectives, then all of those kills are going to waste because you're not maximizing the value. Right now, talking about value, they have gotten a T1 on the top who's just pushing Yishong away, and I like this a lot, right? One of the biggest things that is when you don't have the cash in it.
Exactly. If you're not checking something like 1-2, you probably set yourself for a bit of disaster there within those team fights, right? If it's not Clue, it's Jobao here as well onto the Jing. We are seeing a bit of a TP from the side of Valdez just to make sure they're able to kind of just keep away this minion, so they're not going to get that T1 takedown potentially here. But VP's like, you know what? No, we're going to go for the T2 down bot side of the map here. We're opening that pressure. We're going to create more need for them to be apart from that mid lane.
It's one simple decision, right? The choice from Jaffa to actually go onto Yishong forces out the sprint as well as the charge. They're going to try.
Catches onto T-Gold. Can they get that follow-up here as well? No, it's going to be to the back line. G-Bao is like, you know what? When you lead the charge, you leave your members behind. And unfortunately there for the side of Birmingham United, they are going to drop 3 for 1. But Valdez is looking for some more revenge here for his fallen boy. And Nunu into the back line with the emergence so well here. He's just single-handedly, with the help of Valdez, turned around that team fight.
That could have gone into a disastrous moment for the side of BRU if Nunu did not get that finish there. But he did. Yes, they gave 4 lives for the cost of 3 at this point. But Valdez is still alive. And this is important in the recovery. They will manage to successfully defend the T1. But let's take a look at this fight here. Very nice catch from Taos onto the side of T-Go. But this is where the value of a utility roam comes in. And also, that follow-up truth mantra from 90. This is why this guy is so scary in the KML. And right now, putting his, talents to the KWC stages at this point of time, it is so spectacular. But Nunu, what a recovery. Did not hit the annihilation, by the way, but with that emergence, did save some time and go back into the pockets of BRU, but it's still not enough.
It is not enough, though, but at the same time, you can kind of see the potential here of Birmingham United, right? Like, if these two teams meet in the lower bracket, there has been a lot of vital information being given over that they can work with within that meantime. But right now, that T2 top side of the map here is looking to be potentially barraged here, but it's going to be the Arrow Storm that keeps them away, which is just a beautiful use of the flow ball. Marksman, but into the back line is Valdez. He's taking the bait right now. It's going to be Angela as well as Clue here, just trying to keep T-Gold safe.
It's just always so close. They get T-Gold down low, but here comes Yishong here. He wants to try and defend the T1. I don't think they will allow that to happen. T1 will go into the hands of Virtus Pro from the mid side of BRU's side of the map.
The mid lane game state is definitely not safe here for the side of Birmingham United, and obviously now this just means that obviously, yes, bot side was already opened up, but now it's a clear ownage of their enemy's jungle, right? That Azure Golem was deleted.
Okay, silver lining though, Licky, yes, he did fall once, but T-Gold has also felt once in this game, and Licky has been consistently farming, right? So I think he's keeping pace while he is like half a level behind T-Gold. This 10-minute mark is what defines it. Do we get the steal or not? Annihilation ready for the goal?
Yes, he obviously has the insight there that they're at the tyrant, but he's like, you know what? A little bit too late there. Just like British Transport, that is like they always come up once. 2 come at once, but never do they hit the mark. You are late for work here for the side of Birmingham United for that comeback. 76 seconds left on the tyrant here. They do have a steady hand in this one, not in terms of gold, but VP have the extra damage.
Oh, Hailang, what a flash.
Oh my goodness, that was almost a 2-hit combo.
Yeah, I mean, he did force a flash from Licky. This means they can't really defend. Licky can't come into the fight without taking a huge risk. And this is a huge play. Did not get the kill, but it's not about the kills at this point. It's about getting the resources out of their hands. There is no more common spell available. And here we go. Another quick ultimate from Hailang. Yeah. You know, when you have the Angela, maximum cooldown, she takes about 20 seconds before her ultimate comes up again.
Exactly. I mean, the amount of obviously aid and support you get from the ultimate as well, just the pure rate of interest is so crazy on that hero. I don't understand why many other people don't pick it, especially when we're seeing this kind of like tank meta come through within under lately. And there it is. We do try and land the combo there. It's been enough to slow down.
He's gone.
But he's taking too much damage. He gets taken down by T-Gold as well. Brew are a little bit slow with that rotation to help their buddy.
You can't blame them. It's so hard. I mean, they expected Yusheng to be able to survive. He does have the second skill to cleanse himself, but there's too many members on the side of VP.
Yeah, too many men right now. The T3 here for the side of Burma United. That's going to be the takedown of the bot side. Mid lane has a minion wave crashing through here as well. Baldus is going to have enough minion wave clear to get that one solid.
How many lives do they get? VP, look at the damage. Licky is actually doing quite a bit of damage onto the lineup. Entirety of VP, but every time they fall low, one heal from Clue, one redemption from Clue as well. It's all back to Gold State. And with that, Xiaobo actually secures the Shadow Overlord and Taos.
Oh, so he does get low. He has to force the Unbridled Outburst there as well just to get him to escape. And I feel like that's going to be another scary metric here for the side of Burma United, right? Like, they don't have that means of disengage for a very long time. We know that Virtus Pro has the Shadow Overlord as well. That's just made securing these top two T3s left alone even harder.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at Nunu, yes, he just got the Savant's Wrath. There is damage, there is wave clear available, and Licky actually does really well in the wave clear department as well. But right now, it's not about the wave clear, it's about the team fights, because that's what VP is fishing for. Right now, you know, 90, he's just looking for them to be close enough to the walls, but he wants as many BRU members as possible.
He's looking greedy, right? He wants the full meal. He definitely doesn't want just a starter. He wants the whole course. He wants the dessert on top of that. The dessert being the crystal there at the enemy base of Burma United right now. We have the Vanguard rocking through here. Top side of the map. Is this going to be the Hail Mary play here for Brew?
Yeah, last stand for them on the side of BRU. They will be able to successfully defend this, but 90, I think he's looking for a perfect angle. Right now, BRU is not allowing that. If you want to take that combination of true mantra, it will have to be just two members. It will start to jump in. Valdus is looking for an opening.
Yeah, Valdus is definitely looking for an opening. The Unbridled Outburst is actually going to catch on to T-Gold into the backline there. Yusuf as well with a nice flank, but it's going to be an opening of that backline for the side of Burma United. It looks like they may have to go into the back room and have a couple of brewskis. The Quadra kill came through. Is it going to be the Penta here for the side of Virtus Pro to finish that game off?
11. He's not just... Yes, he did fall once.
And stay.
Go back, look at the video, and then understand exactly what they can do in order to improve.
Well, I game for team vitality for today.
I mean, the story of this is so funny because last year at KWC, when we did the draw, Vitality went up against AG. You know, their jungler, their captain, Zhang Qiu, was kind of in a different state after knowing of the result. But this year, they get to go up against them again. So this will be very exciting. But heading into Group B, this is where the story has unfolded yesterday, right? Aurora Gaming against Rock Esports. Rock Esports made it all the way to the playoffs. Titan Esports Club will have to go against Influence Rage. This one will define the history for the year because they will be going up against Aurora Gaming.
And it's not going to be an easy one.
It's a difficult journey, but this is what the tournament is supposed to be like. So Group C as well, we have our first matchup today. That's going to be Quad Show Gaming going up against Revenant X Spark. This one, I think we're going to see some interesting thought processes from the coaches and also the players in the game as well.
And because of the features that both teams share, which is their playstyle, is very aggressive. So I'm looking for a very head-to-head matchup for today's day one.
Yeah, and following that, we have the Virtus Pro against Buriram United Esports. HOK and AOV once again share the stage. This one is another banger to watch out for as we progress throughout the games of the day. Now let's head over to Group D. This one, we already have our winners, which is going to be DK Esports.
He was a Clash laner. And then just being able to rotate into a different role and still being able to perform puts a lot of tools inside of his tool bag that help the coaches to be able to solve problems. If you need the Futsu, I can play the Futsu. If you need the Baitzi, I can play the Baitzi. AG.AL, not only Inuo, all of these players that you can see right over there, top of the top side.
Dashai, Zoe, Shenron, and also Tangshan, all these specific 5-man lineup here, a legendary roster here. If you include the EWC run that they did last year in 2025, they had a 7 championship in a row run, and I believe there was a specific number that they had that they won multiple BO7s without losing, right?
Yes, and this time it It's gonna be Team Vitality play up against AG.AL, and this is actually their second time to play against him from KPL region.
The two champions are going to set on stage the clue, the questions that we have that we need answers. Whose crown is going to shine brighter? Is it going to be AG.AL? Is it going to be Team Vitality? What does Team Vitality has in their arsenal?
Now, before we deep dive into this specific topic here, it is represented by their specific roster here. F1, Lanfeng, ZhanQ, their Golden Boy in the jungle, Bao, and Gen Myth. This is a roster that has been reshaped around ZhanQ, the double FMVP jungler from the IKL region here. So, last year, they lost to TTG in quarterfinals 0-4 by a KPL team. This year, with the addition of the bounty on top of AG.AL, what's the bounty? You win one game, not a series, one game from a KPL team, you get $10,000. You win a series, 100K in the bank, baby.
100K just for winning the whole series? That is some serious amount of money, I'm telling you. ZhanQ and the boys from Team Vitality, their luck in international stages, it is not the best. Last year, KPL team. They got to Challenger Cup this year, another KPL team. Nora, is it that they don't have the quality, or is it just that their luck is just not the best?
That's really a good question to know, because actually I think they are capable enough to compete to a lot of teams actually, because they are the champion back in IKL Spring 2026, right? So this is, I think it's something to do with their fortune, I guess. It's always like throughout the draw, you're gonna play up against the team from KPL.
I think it's much more of the things like you say about fortune. It's like, last year I faced TTG, and this year in the group space specifically, yes, not knocked out yet. They have a second chance if they do lose, but it's another KPL team all around.
I'm telling you, it is going to come down to Team Vitality being able to really clutch the moment. Because we know that AG.AL in this 2026, it has not been as dominant as in the past. Spring, they did not make it to the finals. And then in Challengers Cup, they lose that tournament as well. Up until right now, AG has not won a title in this 2026, Nora.
That's some stories that I really want to share with you guys, because we know that in 2024, that was actually the start of AG's journey, getting those consecutive championships, and that was their first time participating in KWC. And last year, that was their heyday, right? Including that title they granted in KWC 2025, they got like 7 consecutive championships.
And that just has a toll on the players, right? Because then the players are going to be tired as well. You got to remember that at the beginning of the year, a lot of rotations happen over there at AG.AL. And right now, as we come back with the top formation, does Team Vitality have a chance against the top AG.AL right now?
I think the only advantage that global teams or Team Vitality actually has is the patch knowledge, right? Yes, I understand certain patches that global team has already played were the experiences before for some of these KPL teams, but due to the fact that they practice in a different environment, maybe this is the only chance that Team Vitality has in terms of advantage.
I think that Sagi just really has a very good point.
भाई आज तो जिस भी टीम को सपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ वही टीम हार रही है भाई. क्या बोलूँ भाई, क्या ही बोलूँ, मतलब वाह, गजब हो रहा है भाई आज.
To be jumping in between patches here to there. Is that going to have a negative impact on them?
Well, I feel like that might have some impact on them, because they have such a tight schedule, right? They just finished their competitions back in KPL like 2 days ago, and they just directly fly here to the Paris, and yesterday they're busy with their shootings, their rehearsals, so like little time for them to get adapt to those new patches. And not even mentioned to actually for Eno and also Shy, they're trying to get adjusted to 3 different patches simultaneously.
Wow. 3 different patches simultaneously. It doesn't matter how good you are. That's gonna have a negative impact on you.
लेट्स गो गाइस, आप लोग भी डाउनलोड करो प्ले स्टोर एंड ऐप स्टोर से HOK. ठीक है, ऑनर ऑफ किंग्स, ये है इंडिया का पहला मोबा गेम. ठीक है, और गाइस ऑनलाइन और गाइस इन गेम प्रेडिक्शन देना भी मत भूलना. तुम लोग जितने बंदे देख रहे हो, आप लोग जाके इन गेम प्रेडिक्शन दे देना. ठीक है,
I think both of you make a very good point, right? It's not
बढ़िया गया भाई मैच.
It's also conditioning yourself to the best state that you are.
ये वाला मैच देखते हैं गाइस, ठीक है?
Opponents here, because
लास्ट ही मैच देखते हैं.
Very strong region, and all the global teams look up to this specific region itself.
And just take KSG as an example, right? Because they finished their matchup in today's first match, and they got a 2-0 clean win against Revenant. So I feel like if they just focus on themselves, they can actually do a great job. So
AG.
actually this time, in 2026, I feel
AG.AL.
like KWC is pretty much more like a making comeback to AG.
AG.AL, as you can see on the screens, the title defender. Team Vitality in front of them, they're the challengers. And one more time against a KPL team. Hopefully everything's gonna go a little bit better for Team Vitality. They need to see this as what it is, a challenge, an opportunity to come and demonstrate that with every year that passes, they're getting better, and closer to the KPL teams.
It's still a far stretch to actually say that really close, but I always like to see whenever a global team goes up and face against a KPL team, because it shows how many years we've been in the ecosystem of Honor of Kings and how far we actually went and improved as a region itself. But talking about this specific series here, if there is a specific matchup that I want to highlight, is the FMVP jungler going raffles in Ogren, and also the FMVP of IKL, Zankyu in that jungle role.
Exactly. And you just mentioned about Zankyu, right? Because Vitality actually just rebuilt the whole team around Zankyu. And for him, he got FMVP twice, which also means Team Vitality, speaking to those trends difference, I would say Team Vitality is in their heyday because they got 2 consecutive championships, right? The fall last year and the spring this year in IKL.
But then you build a team around Zankyu. That is a very...
चलो गाइस, मिलते हैं आप लोगों से सीधा कल वाली स्ट्रीम में। तब तक के लिए बाय बाय, टाटा, टेक केयर एंड लव यू ऑल गाइस। आप लोग ये वाली मैच जाके देख सकते हो गाइस एचओके के ऑफिशियल यूट्यूब चैनल पर। मैं मिलता हूँ आप लोगों से गाइस सीधा कल वाली स्ट्रीम में। तब तक के लिए बाय बाय, टाटा, टेक केयर एंड लव यू ऑल गाइस। बाय बाय।
And I think that this is going to be an elevating moment for both teams as we hop straight into the draft.
For the draft, we can see game 1, Team Vitality is on the blue side and for AG.AL on the red. Well, definitely Assassin is going to be the priority, and also how they're going to play around with their core players.